Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to MotoOption Supercross. It is round 10 of this championship after our 1 week break, our only 1 week break of this season. And we have 8 more rounds of this championship still to go. And we're going to be with you live every single week from now until mid-May covering this action. So excited. Can't wait to get it started here tonight at Birmingham in Alabama. Triple Crown. Of course, I'm your host, Kellen Brower, joined by Andrew Wood in the booth. Man, oh man, it's weird coming off a break every single time. We don't know where these guys are going to be. We don't know who's been working on what or who's even playing different games at this point. But we do know that the halfway point of this championship has come and gone. Braden Carter and Colby Eaglin are still in a pretty good title fight, and who knows who's going to get the upper hand going into the second half of the season now.
Yeah, breaks are always kind of hard. I missed, a week even before that, so it feels like I've been gone for so long, but you never know who's going to come out firing, and if someone stepped up, if Eaglin now has stuff for Carter at every single round, we're going to have to wait and see, but really excited. Glad we still have some really close title fights here, and excited for the racing.
We also have a Triple Crown right off of the break, which is something unique that we're going to have an outdoor stadium this year as a Triple Crown. But this track is gnarly, like one of the gnarlier Triple Crown tracks that we've probably had. I know we do Glendale sometimes for Triple Crowns, but 3 main events for both classes on this track is going to be pretty gnarly.
Yeah, it is really, really long too, Kellen. It is it's going to be weird because the track might not break down as much because they're not getting as many laps and it's already a shortened Triple Crown race. But the track, that was the first comment I had when I saw it. I was like, dude, this is a long lap time. And it's going to be good, though. I think a lot of different sections for people to have their strengths and people to make up time and get some great racing.
We're going to see a lot of great racing tonight. And, of course, it all starts this evening with qualifying. Qualifying has just wrapped up here for the 450 class. Taking a look on your screen right now of what the 450 class looks like. I think, actually, we got 1 minute left to go, so it's not fully done just yet. So if someone fires in a late fast time, we may or may not see it change up here. But Seth Shirley fastest at a 103.3, Jeremy Seabolt 103.4, Braden Tharp 103.6, and that Seabolt and Tharp times, they kind of snuck in late. We saw about maybe 5 minutes ago, Seth had an 8/10 gap on everybody else, but these guys have started to figure out whatever it is he was doing, and we're seeing closer times at the top now.
Yeah, 100%. He had something figured out, and Seabolt and Tharp figured that out as well, because, if those two didn't just put that lap time in, it would be a 7/10 gap back to Seth Carr right there. So really good for them to figure that out. Maybe they're in the same server. They found something all at the same time, and they were able to execute it in their last session. So, that shows me that it's going to be a little bit better racing, but that does slide Braden Carter down to 8th in qualifying. So he's just off your screen right there, almost a second slower. So that's your red plate holder right now. And it's going to be hard for him if he hasn't figured out whatever those guys are doing.
Yeah, well, right off the rip, if he qualifies 8 fastest, he might end up with a subpar gate pick for this first race of the night, whereas some of these other guys will be up the inside trying to get a whole shot here in this race. Like we said, Triple Crown, though. So here's your cutoff right now. Hayden Stevenson at a 104.781 is the cutoff. So, there's not much in it, a second and a half, really, first to P18. And all these guys back here that you're looking at on your screen are headed to the Last Chance Qualifier, which will start out our evening program here in just a few minutes. So yeah, for some of these guys, tough break already, but of course we'll see them at least get a chance to go racing here in just a minute. Let's talk about 250 East, and Colin Allen has suddenly kind of become a bit of a force to be reckoned with in this class, even though he's not really in the championship fight just yet. Cade Matherly obviously taking the championship lead last time out, I should say, in Indy. But Colin Allen won Daytona, fastest qualifier here today in Birmingham, trying to pick up his second win of the season. And man, he looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's always surprising. You have these kind of like late bloomers that kind of figure something out. Again, just took him a couple rounds to do it, but now qualifying, in the top couple spots the past couple weeks, and really just figuring out maybe, just the game in general and his Supercross skills. So maybe a little bit too late to battle in the championship, but good to see him here and fight for race wins. These Triple Crowns are always weird too, so if he can get out good starts and hot lap, he might take home the W tonight.
Well, we'll see if he can get it done here in Birmingham. Of course, like you said, with the Triple Crown format, needs 3 good starts, not just 1. All right, our cutoff, Ben Nerona, who won earlier this year on a 106.867. Look at that. 2 guys tied at a 106.867. Fortunately, they did not teeter on the cutoff times there, as it looks like Emmanuel Cepeda, who actually had the red plate earlier this season, is out looking in. We'll see if he's able to sneak in through the LCQ. Obviously, some other big names down the order are also bound towards the last chance qualifiers. So like we said, we'll see them coming up here in just a minute. Here is our championship picture. It took a pretty big hit last time out. Colby Eagland, a very, very tough Indianapolis, went from really right in the thick of it with Carter only 1 point up to 19 back because Carter won again in Indy. So this is pivotal right now for Eagland, and really, even if you're Shirley, you're still kind of got a fringe case at this thing. They have to win tonight to get back in this thing.
Yeah, I mean, you've got so many rounds left to go, but 20 is going to be, if they don't take home the win, one of those 2 guys, it's you're kind of seeing it slip away. As we get down, we're going to see that and kind of solidify. Braden's going to have a huge mistake and somehow miss a main for you to even have a chance at it. So yeah, look for Colby Eagland to try to take the top spot tonight and get some points back on Carter, and hopefully he can with that bad qualifying and gate pick maybe drop some spots. So
yeah, we'll have to see what happens with those guys. In our 250 East Division, it's still a pretty good one, but actually we have a new face kind of mixing it up a little bit. Cade Matherly snatches the points lead away from Emmanuel Cepeda last time out in Indy. Cepeda, pretty bad night there. Dylan Dallaire, though, suddenly is a title contender, and he has been very fast this year. He's been mixing it up. He hasn't won a race just yet. That's been his one kryptonite so far, but he's had consistent results. He was fastest qualifier at Daytona. Right there in the thick of things, and might be on the doorstep of something big here as a bit of an upset.
Yeah, he's kind of the one that I feel like has made the biggest jump. I mean, you see it with the points. He's just had that consistency, and this is just the last couple weeks. I feel like he's really, really stood out. So Cade is going to need to be on top of his game, but you also have Cepeda and Padani there, still not too far away. This class is a little bit more volatile than the 450 class is, so it's easier to kind of gain some points, especially with a bad night. But good thing for Cade Matherly right now is that the Triple Crowns do lend yourself to be able to have one bad race and still finish pretty decent, still maybe finish on the podium, not lose too many points. So Cade's going to have to try to just stay consistent as possible, but even if you drop one race, it's not going to hurt you too much.
Yeah, indeed. All right, so that is your championship picture update heading into the evening program here that we'll kick off in just a minute. Let's talk about this racetrack. We've already kind of seen a bit of a view of it from our onboard lap earlier on in the show, but let's take a look at it from overhead. Obviously, some things that you'll point out here, the sand corner, a couple long rhythm sections. But again, we just go back to it's a football stadium layout, and it's one of the longest lap times we're going to have this year. It's kind of gnarly to see this play out right in front of our eyes.
Yeah, football stadiums have way smaller floors than baseball stadiums do. They just work out really well with 90s and 180s for Supercross, but it normally lends itself to slow lap times, or to short lap times. So I think with the creativity and the over-under bridge, maybe the slowing down the sand section a little bit, it's kind of added so much time to this track. But I think it's cool. There's a lot of weird shapes, I guess, weird angles and stuff. Coming back on the start straight, it's going to be kind of weird how the guys kind of handle that, turning on that flat ground. But it loops back over itself a lot of times. And I think we're just going to have to wait and see that really how it breaks down with racing. There is a lot of 180s. For what there is, but there's also a couple 90s that might, make racing. They're not the best for racing, but I do like it. Just one short whoop section, but a lot of rhythms and tricky sand section. So it's going to be interesting to see how the racers break it down when we get going.
Yeah, my only bummer is that the last 2 corners before the finish line jump are 90s, because normally we get to see some fun battles, obviously, for transfer spots going down to the end. And for this particular race, it's going to be a battle for, maybe even a main event win. But we'll take you guys around this track here for just a minute while they're still figuring stuff out in the server. Left-hand sweeper through the first corner, and then I'll let my guy Awood kind of talk us through the rest here.
Yeah, probably nice little triple line here. There's going to be a big rhythm or 2 showing here, triple in, and then you can go, you said maybe quad on, off, triple into the corner. All sorts of different things there. I'm expecting to have a couple 5s there. We got a triple quad here as well that tricky to play on the TV when we got the latency, but it is that triple quad. It feels like it's going to be pretty automatic though. It doesn't seem like it's going to be too hard for most of these top guys. I'm not sure if the 450 or the 250 class is going to be doing it Short whoop section here, but pretty tight in and out of it with some tight corners. And this one looks pretty close actually to the ending of it, so can't get sketchy like you just did. Pretty basic triple over the tunnel. Sand section I think is going to be one of the biggest players as far as losing and gaining time. It feels really tight, and these guys have to figure out if they want to go inside out, outside in, hold one line the whole way. So keep an eye on that as we get into the racing, and we're going straight into the LCQs.
Yes, we are. We are going straight into our 250 last chance qualifier to kick things off, and I always just have to laugh. I mean, my whoop skills have taken a turn for the worse since I retired from professional racing now 8 years ago. God, that sucks. But every time through the whoops, it's an adventure. It really is. Just to tire tap the last 4 after being sideways in the first 4. You know, just whatever works, whatever you can get through.
It used to be the safe way. I just muted my mic. The safe way was first gear, don't touch anything. You're gonna be good. Your suspension works. I don't know what changed. If they just build them so drastically different. If the game physics changed that much with the new suspension updates that they had, but it's crazy. Now you have 5th gear lugging, which seems to be the only way that doesn't upset your suspension, which kind of makes sense because like downhill outdoors, you know, higher gear, keep your suspension working better. But it's not even like a 3rd tapped or 4th tapped like real life kind of deal. There's not much. It's 5th gear lug and don't really touch it. Like, I don't know, man. I'm just glad I'm not out there racing because there ain't no way. The only reason I'd want to be out there racing is to get one of those sick-ass intro videos in the opening ceremonies. Those things are next level. But
yeah, maybe we need to make the old-timers class and we have our own intros.
Just
for the
no
whoops,
too.
Yeah, no whoops.
It's just a flat section.
Tabletops everywhere.
Yeah.
Where there should be rhythm sections, just
like
tables.
An amateur supercross track, you know, where they fill them in.
Oh, yeah. Here's a look at who is in this 250 last chance qualifier. So pick out some of your favorite faces. Like, how about Killian Ortiz ending up in this one? That's a bit of a shock to see there. Some other big faces as well. Yeah, this is going to be a stacked one for sure. This is some of the best 250 East racers. I even see Maverick Snyder, the number 15 machine in this one. We already talked about Emmanuel Cepeda in this one as well. Devin Davis, Carl Novak, just to name a few. And everyone's favorite, Kyle Boardman, also in this one. So here we go, folks. It's time to drop the gate here in Birmingham. 250 last chance qualifier. Let's go. Long gate hold and a couple guys jumped, but everyone's getting into this first corner pretty tight. 3 or 4 bikes together, and a lot of them went down. Sneaking through is Maverick Snyder. He's going to get the whole shot. Looks like Cody Branson's trying to triple his way in a second, and he will on that all-brown machine. He's trying to triple to the lead, and he's going to do it. Look at that. Nice move by Branson. Get some clean air, which is critical in these last chance qualifiers.
Yeah, I like going straight for that triple quad double right there. Goes outside, hits that triple. Look at this battle, though. Cepeda losing a spot, gets back. Okay, so he does lose a spot. Another rider off the track. Maverick Snyder moves back up into second. Chasing down Branson as Cepeda's down. Snyder's almost down. And there's another rider that just got into him.
I think that was D. Davis down with him.
Rolling it. Yeah, he is. 43 on the green machine.
Yeah.
So many riders down. Those whoops look 3 times too big.
They're huge, and the 250 boys absolutely biting it here on the opening lap. But Branson gets away pretty clean. Snyder, Caudill, and Joseph Pilsner in a pretty good spot early on as well. So Austin Schaefer's going with him. Oh, Ethan Lenhart just went down. So Lenhart down out of the 6th position. Going to lose a few positions. Evan Cormack goes by. We just saw Cepeda pick it up from his crash. D. Davis is back here. That's Tyler Shields on the Covenant Honda making a move as well. Shields, another guy that definitely should factor into getting right through. But here's your transfer spot battle. We got Pilsner versus Schaefer. Pilsner a little short. Schaefer's going to try to get the pass done here, and he will into 4th place.
Yeah, what a great move right there. Just nails that section. Look at this. Different lines there. Ooh, the triple in and then not able to make it work. Schaefer has a worse start, but then figures out in the middle. Look at these guys. Just that rhythm looks so tricky for these 250 riders. And then different rhythms all the way over here. Man, this 250 class is bringing the heat right now, but Schaefer coming out on top of that little battle and moving into the transfer spot. There is so many big names in this 250 East Coast LCQ to get into the night show. It's actually going to be amazing how many people miss out.
It is, and look at, I mean, this fight's still going hot and heavy. You can see Pilsner's just trying to get after Schaefer for this final transfer spot. It is still Branson, Caudill, Maverick Snyder, and then this 4th spot Austin Schaefer versus Joseph Pilsner going at it. If you're just joining us right now, it is a Triple Crown format here tonight in Birmingham. So that means we've kicked off with the last chance qualifiers straight away in, and this is a 5-minute plus 1 lap race. Anyone who makes it through into this will, of course, join the other 18 riders that have already qualified through into the main race. So these guys are going at it, and my wife just walked into the room with my son, so I guess we're going to have a little bit of action with my son on screen. Let's go to our intermission screen here, and we'll watch the race with Maddie. Maddie can watch the race with us. What do you think, buddy?
He's very interested with the fan right now. Now he's looking at the screen, checking out some racing. I think he likes it. He's a moto guy at heart. I think he knows that those are dirt bikes out there. He loves watching on the weekend.
Oh, you going to get my microphone? Just hanging out.
That's a thick boy. Yeah.
What do you think, buddy? You like him almost?
He's gonna have my job in about 7 years. We'll just kick me out, maybe even sooner.
Battling with these guys in 13 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're announcing.
Screaming. We're gonna hear everyone yelling.
That was Maverick Snyder that just went down on the finish line jump. It was. So Snyder down. Looks like Pilsner actually got up with him. So it's Branson, Schaefer, Pilsner, and Snyder in the transfer spots now. As we'll go back to our live screen. But yes, Snyder is actually still in a transfer spot. Looks like Caudle was the one that fell out. And yes, he is back here now. So he is in the 5 spot. Paolini, Hewen, and Cepeda, who just went down again. Manuel Cepeda, this is not going his way at all. So let's figure out where everybody is. Schaefer now into the race lead. Pilsner second, Snyder third, and Branson is in 4th. So Branson was also in the lead. He's gone back to the 4th spot, and Caudle's trying to get back into this. So it's the same 5 guys up here, but they all changed order there in that last lap.
Yeah, Branson, mistake right there in the sand. What are we doing with the gear?
I don't know, man. I don't know why I don't have his helmet.
Am I allowed? This is the first time I feel like I can say that this gear, this setup is dookie. Because it is just straight, like it's not like a bronze gold. Like, I don't really know. It's a Honda. What are we doing? There's no special event. Is it Alabama down south playing in the mud? I don't know. He's got some company, though.
He does have some company. Dalton Caudle has gotten right back to his rear fender again, and he's going to go 2-3-1 there. So actually an alternate line, doesn't lose too much time. They're both going to triple in. Caudle gets it a little bit better, triples alongside, goes for the quad. Does he get it? He does, but look at Branson fighting back and block passing into the corner. So these two are going at it. Cross jump, and he lands on a tough block and goes down. Branson crossed up and hit him as they were taking off, and Caudle had nowhere to go, lands off the track and goes over the bars. Going to lose a couple spots. Riley Hewen, Dominic Paolini went by, but Paolini's down now as well. That actually worked really well into Branson's hands. Can't believe how well that came together for him, because he was on his way to losing that position for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that was just great racecraft there. You're getting past, you miss the rhythm. The other guy hits the big rhythm into the corner, and you're just say, I got the inside. I'm going to control this, and I'm going to make sure I keep my spot. Ends up getting a little bit sketchy, but ends up keep holding on to the position. That's really all that matters here. So he's got a lot of breathing room now, and being in 4th place in the LCQ is not exactly where you want to be, but if you're there with a 6 or 7 second lead over the next fastest guy, that's a pretty good feeling. So he's just got to focus on hitting his marks. We're on to the white flag lap now, so 1 more minute left for him just to keep this thing under control, and no big lines here. Double, triple, quad over. That's pretty cool, but doesn't look like super hard. And then triple, everyone else is hitting the triple quad as their big line to make passes, but Branson's just holding on to her, bringing this thing home.
Yeah, the whoops will be critical for him here. If he gets through them, he should be good to go. Very clean up on top of those, so he will be heading through as long as he doesn't crash in these last few corners. Meanwhile, Austin Schaefer snuck away at the front of this last chance qualifier, got himself a nice 5.5 second lead here on the final lap. So he'll take his Covenant Fantic right into the show. And of course, this LCQ just gets you into the 3 races coming up. But Austin Schaefer stamps his ticket in. He's going to the Triple Crown here in Birmingham. Maverick Snyder second, Joseph Pilsner picks up 3rd, and Branson does indeed hold on for 4th.
Yeah, Riley Hewen just missing out right here. And after not being really in the mix, we saw Shields up front. We saw Cepeda. We saw Paolini have a chance. Sonny Spicer. Look at all these guys that are going to miss out. Jack Fowler, huge name. OG, been around for a long time. Evan Cormack, Carl Novak. Emmanuel Cepeda dropped all the way back to 12th. Once you're down that far, you just kind of mail it in.
Yeah, that's a tough break. And also, I mean, Dalton Caudill actually ran the fastest lap of the race at a 107.2. He is not going to finish this one. Looks like he is disconnected from the server. That's a bummer. Killian Ortiz, Talon Ulibarri back here, deep in the field. Ethan Lenhart, Stephen Short, Nicholas Langstrip. I mean, these guys are still going at it. We have a heated battle going right now for 16th. Langstrip versus Stephen Short. So who's going to get who in this one?
I got Langstrup right here, right up the inside. Look at that. Can he cut down? Look at these guys over the triple. Doolies!
Langstrip throws it off the track for us, too.
It's all right. We like the commitment to it. He got the pass for a second, and there it is. He takes it at the line.
Oh, man. Woo! 15th place, just going at it. Love to see it, though. All right, up front, Schaefer does win from Snyder, Pilsner, and Branson does hang on for the 4th and final transfer spot after penalties have been applied. So that has been your 250 last chance qualifier. 450 LCQ coming up next.
Yeah, Branson's bike actually looks so good. Just, I think if the gear was other stuff, it would match so well.
So you like we like the brown bike.
It's like, yeah, because it's not like bronze. Like I think even the I hate that Akrapovich muffler was like the same kind of like sand black, like sand colors. Yeah. I don't know. It's really cool, but just going full brown, not really the move. And then so Covenant has Fantics and Hondas.
I don't know, man. Covenant. I tried to. I used Dylan Delaire as the stream photo tonight, and I was trying to look for the Covenant skins, but they're named PR because they were once Providence Racing, and they use Providence Racing skins still. I don't know, man. Everyone's on a different team. Even the defending champions switching teams mid-year. Welcome to my hell.
I don't know, man. Yeah, you said that, and I was like, no, and I was like, yeah, actually it is. But okay, so what are we thinking for the sand? The guys seem to be cutting inside off that first jump, jumping to like the inside, and then fading out in like the middle. It seems like that's the kind of move. The inside all the way till that halfway hump, and then outside through the rest of it.
Well, there's a way to double in, and then you'll see that pretty burly rut on the inside of the corner on the way out. If you can hook that again, if you can hook that rut again, that's the way to go.
The middle one leaving.
Yeah. So, but if you can double in and then catch one of those two like pretty noticeable inside ruts, and then hook into that other big rut on the inside on the exit, that is like for sure the way to go. So I think you're going to see, at least once we get actually racing, that be the main line. But these guys obviously are just trying to get in, so they're a little bit all over the place.
Yeah. I think we in chat, we've got a couple people that are supporting the team switching thing that I went on a rant before the stream on, is you shouldn't be allowed to change teams mid-season. You're locked in at A1. But these guys will do whatever they want.
Well, real ones will remember that Race Factory actually instituted a rule back in like 13, 14 or something like that, where you could only change teams once during the year, if at all. So maybe we'll have that happen again. Also, shout out OGBPC, which is Braden Carter says, sand is sick, jump from inside to out, and then either run the outside whole way or cut down and double out. Of course, that is reigning champion Braden Carter letting us know the way around the sand. 450 last chance qualifier off and running in this one. Look at Turley up the inside on the 125 going deep. Who's going to sneak around the inside? It's going to be none of them. From the outside, Jacob Hubbard gets the holy. So this is your Detroit Supercross winner in the 450 last chance qualifier. Turley finds himself in third early on, getting passed up by Wyatt Grant. Evan Holt also going to jump by. Turley, gets into Holtzy, and they both go down. So that's a big crash for third and fourth place.
Look at that
on the opening lap, and a lot of guys getting stacked up behind them. Looks like Hubbard may have had some problems too. Wyatt Grant, B-Lars, and Chelsea up here as well. Jax Lindsay also hanging tough in the mix. Cash Woods just behind these guys. So Ryan Cheesecake Chelsea holding on to the final transfer spot for now, hooking that rut. Look at it. You can see the different options. 3 different lines in that corner just alone.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Even the first rhythm we need to watch when these guys are so tight in a battle here early on. there's so many different options that it looks like death for these guys. I'm surprised more people aren't landing on each other because there's probably 8 or 9 different ways to go. Oh, look at that. Chelsea gets by as Jack Lindsay slides out. Or is that the other way around?
No, it's,
okay.
Yes, Chelsea got by because Beelar
slid out.
Yeah.
All right, these guys all look the exact same. Beelar's tucks the front. Chase Sexton is showing his face in Alabama, and he loses a couple spots, but he's going to be able to get right back on it right now. So let's see if he can mount a charge. Look at these guys. We're going to have them all going into the rhythm. Triple, quad, double, and then see if they go inside or outside. Inside, you have to do that double inline. Outside, you get the triple. So we'll see if the triple quad works for Cash Woods. It gains him so much time. Not close enough yet to make the pass, but wow, I like that line. I think that's more worth it. If you're not defending a position, go for that huge triple quad.
Yeah, this is your battle for the transfer spot right now. Jax Lindsay on that number 71 Orst Yamaha. I think that's how you say that at least. Cash Woods on the I-Spec KTM around the outside, trying to get that pass done. Swoops around the outside, cuts back underneath on Jax Lindsay, shows him a nose there, but doesn't quite get in there and make that pass stick just yet. Now Lindsay goes defensive into this corner. Cash Woods wasn't even close. Gets the momentum spooled back up going around that berm. And he is on his horse trying to close this thing down. Jacob Arnbrister also in the mix. Anthony Pachone as they go through the mechanics area. And if you're Jax Lindsay right now, you are a little bit worried about 3 guys right on your tail while you're running fourth.
Yeah, it's really scary when you're in the transfer spot, and he doesn't have 6 seconds like we saw in the last race. He has about a quarter of a second, and 3 guys right there able to make it happen, and especially Cash Woods has been working his way up. You're going to start hearing those bikes more, seeing it. Cash Woods a small mistake, so Jax Lindsay gets a little bit more breathing room as he falls back into the clutches. Ooh, and look at that. Armbrister tries to go up the inside, doesn't get it. Clean drive through the whoops, though, for both these guys. This is a battle outside of the transfer, but this is probably the most important and closest battle on the track, because whoever gets ahead in this is able to get themselves into the position to actually go after that transfer spot. So every mistake that they're making right there, Cash Woods is slowly making too many and falling back.
Yeah, well, Arnbrister tucked the front end on the exit of the sand, lost a position there as Anthony Pachone went by. Jeremy Schiabro also sneaking up into the back of this mix on the number 48 machine, now in 8th. But Wyatt Grant is actually the man who has slid back to the final transfer spot. Jax Lindsay charging forward has made it up to 3rd there on that number 71 Yamaha. So Wyatt Grant on the 66 Impact Honda going a little nose high. Oh, now Lindsay stacks it and gets into the Davalos bales, and that allows Cash Woods to go on by. So now it's Cash Woods into the final transfer spot. He's trying to jump over Wyatt Grant, who's holding the defensive line. Jax Lindsay's getting out of shape in the background. Man, oh man, this is chaos right now. Now Woods almost jumps off the inside lane of the track. Here comes Jax Lindsay again.
Yeah, Cash Woods doesn't seem like he really has a gear of slowing down right now. He wants to keep pushing forward, and I would too if I was on the bubble. Jax Lindsay right behind you and a couple other guys in the rhythm section. So your main focus is going to be forward here. Try to keep executing, keep hitting your lines. And he's kind of flowing right now. No mistake there. Keeps away from that tunnel right there. But man, right on the tail, and one more spot getting past Wyatt Grant here would be so big for him and his confidence, just how comfortable you feel holding that lead. But I think these guys are chasing down Ryan Chelsea right ahead of him, so you see him start to get in the shot as Chelsea has fallen off of the leader, Jacob Hubbard. But now we have 2, 3, and 4 within 2 or 3 seconds here, and a slate of riders right behind trying to pick up the spot.
Yeah, Lindsay is still right there in the background. Pachone now closing up a little bit even more from 6, but you're right. 2, 3, 4, 5 altogether on our screen as Jacob Hubbard's opened up a 5-second lead at the front. We got a mistake. Wyatt Grant cannot get that line. He's going to have to triple to the outside. Let's see if he can triple in here. He does, so he actually pulls it back really nicely. Doesn't lose really any time with that mistake. And instead, now Cash Woods is going to start feeling that heat. Jax Lindsay bouncing through the whoops, getting a little bit wayward. Every time it seems like someone's going to gain time, they actually end up losing time, as it looks like Pachone went down in the background. So it's now between these 4 riders going for 3 positions on the racetrack. Oh, Cash Woods clipping the tunnel jump again right there. It is getting close. White flag coming out this time by who is going to get into these 3 main events.
Yeah, kind of crazy too. Ryan Chelsea up at the front of this group pulled away a little bit of a gap and then made his own mistake, so it tightened it right back up. Cash Woods still right on that last transfer spot with a rear end full of Jackson Lindsay right now. But these guys all just trying to stay on 2 wheels. It's hard because you want to make the pass and get further up, but dude, you can't everyone is so close. You just need to focus on getting yourself to the finish line. The only person here that can push is Jax Lindsay on the outside looking in, and you see him executing these big lines. Wyatt Grant stacks it in the rhythm, and that's going to allow him to go back to 5th. Jax Lindsay into a transfer.
Oh, but he gets it a little bit wrong on entry, and Wyatt Grant gets it right back. So now they're going back and forth. It's going to come down to this whoop section. Who gets it cleaner? Lindsay gets it really good, but Wyatt Grant holds steady. Up front, it is still Jacob Hubbard exiting the sand under the tunnel as these guys are fighting for it. Grant misses the rut, goes to the outside, cuts back up underneath, doubles across and takes Jax Lindsay out. He takes him out for the final spot and holds on. It's going to be insane to see what the stewards say about that, because he definitely, I think, jumped over the tough blocks a little bit to get there, but he jumps across to make that pass. Meanwhile, Jacob Hubbard wins the LCQ. It's going to be Chelsea going through with him. Cashwood survives in 3rd, and let's see if Wyatt Grant makes it. He does for now.
I'm going to go a little Heather Kiefer. You can't do that, dude. You can't jump across the track, cut across just because you made a mistake. I have a good feeling that Jax Lindsay is going to be granted the final transfer here into the main events here tonight, and we will be seeing Wyatt Grant coming up just short. Looking back at all the guys that missed out, Jack Haley, Weigman, Logan Leitzel, those pass getting made right up the inside of Ethan Park. Look at this, another battle. Beelar slipped all the way back to 13. Weigman's dead. Let's see what happens here. Do we get another photo finish here for 13th place? Ethan Park's up the inside.
Stack it up in there, trying to get around Beelar's. Oh, Beelar's got to hold it. Look at Parks trying to get the slingshot. Oh, and then Leitzel gets by him as well. Oh, man, Ethan, come on.
Some amazing racing right now. But, I mean, I'm assuming we're going to get a ruling here soon, but there's no way Wyatt gets to keep that spot, right?
I don't know. I don't know what they say about this. Like, I guess Wyatt's position would be that he left while he was still on the track and landed on the track, but he definitely put some tough
and killed the guy, though. I got my one suspension from racing is from cutting half of a hay bale to clean out and make the pass. Dennis Fjellberg, and I cut half of a hay bale. You cannot tell me that that's going to stand.
I don't know,
RF's
man.
getting soft.
But it's a different RF, man. Remember when they used to always come to the races?
That's true.
It's different RF these days. We'll see, though, who gets in. Wyatt Grant, unofficially at least right now, has qualified for these 3 races, and we'll see if there's a protest coming down. I'm worried to see the chat.
Pretty cool that he's 66 and his dad's 33. Also, my favorite rider growing up, Josh Grant. The best. He's the GOAT.
The best.
Best style, best whips.
Do you think we could get him in studio? He lives close.
Wyatt? Josh?
Josh.
You think he'd come?
I don't know.
Maybe. He's cool. He signed when he whole shot 2016 or 15 on the JGR Yamaha and led and won the race, I'm pretty sure. First moto. I was standing with his dad, and I got him to sign like the back of my phone case, and it was so sick, and then I sweated all over it, and then it was all just mushed Josh Grant signature, and it was very sad. But I had that phone case for like 3 years, so.
Why don't I admin or ref these races?
Because everyone would be banned.
Well, no, because it's super hard to stream and ref it at the same time. I did that in 2013 Nationals. I raced the Nationals and streamed it and refed it. Never again. Never can make anyone happy. Doesn't matter if you do the rulings by the rule book, people still get pissed. So I am good. I do not want to be the ref.
Yeah. I would ban everyone.
Yeah.
It would be ruling with an iron fist. But it's all right.
So, no, I don't want to ref, but that's okay. We will instead watch 250 race 1 coming up. Joseph Pilsner, Ben Nerona, Cade Matherly, Cody Branson in this one, obviously from the LCQ. Colin Allen, Maverick Snyder, Brandon Nygren, Christopher McPherson, Antonio Velati, Johnny Padani, Seth Crotty, Emmett Sund in this one, Austin Schaefer, Jack Mark, Christopher McPherson, Dylan Delaire, Matt Cromie, Will Now, Talon Zollers, Jeff Cooper, Zhao Victor. So many names in this one. And first time we'll see Cade Matherly with the red plates this year as well. There he is.
Yeah, I do. I think I'm going to call Dylan Delaire for the win right now. Ooh, Cade's setup is fucking so hot right now. Look how good that looks with the red plate too. Black Red Bull helmet. That's a clean kit right there. But I'm calling Dylan Delaire for it. I just think he's got that like momentum, and chip on his shoulder type. Nothing really to lose, only a couple points back from this guy. So we'll see what happens here. Yeah,
here we go, folks. It's time for 250 race 1 here in Birmingham, sweet home Alabama. Here we go, folks. Race 1 coming at you live here on Start Your Systems TV. Who's going to get the all-important hole shot? Who's going to win race 1 of the 250 main event showdown right now? Here we go. Off and running. Looks like a pretty good start from that Yamaha up the inside. I believe that is the 35 of Padani. Does he hole shot? No! Cade Matherly with the RaceFactorGaming.com hole shot. And someone tried to triple in and landed on the back of someone else. Didn't see who those two riders were. But Matherly with a rare holy in this one gets the early lead. Quadding over him, though, is Alec Horn to go to the front. Everyone's getting a little bit sideways as Will now jumps into the 3 spot. Look at this battle up front, though.
Yeah, Alec Horn almost took a trip to Indonesia right there as he made the pass on Cade, but Cade has a rear fender full of Will now right now, so look how close these 3 are up front. These guys are trying to pull away and somehow get an early lead. Alec Horn is there, unable to pull away just yet, but look at that. 2 guys go down in 3rd and 4th in the sand right there.
Too. Our fastest qualifier.
I think Allen maybe went up the inside and cleaned him out, and then we had a mistake right there from Cade, so Alec Horn has a bigger gap than all of that, and look at how close the rest of the field is. You see Branson right there in the brown moving up front, Brandon Nygren right there in 3rd. So yeah, Chromie in 5th. Alec Horn, though, is going to lead us across first lap here.
Yeah, Alec Horn and Cade Matherly getting a good early gap, 5-second lead for the two of them, so they can kind of settle down and duke it out amongst each other while everyone settles in. It's Nygren, Chromie, Jack Mark, Cody Branson, Seth Crotty, Colin Allen, Emmett Sun, and Johnny Padani inside of the top 10. As here comes Matherly for the race lead, going to quad by Alec Horn. Horn's going to fight back to the outside. They're still side by side. Matherly shuts the door down and takes over the race lead here in Birmingham.
Yeah, look at that. Just, tries to get too close right there on the exit of the corner, hits the rear wheel and goes straight down. Luckily does not fall off the bike, so not going to lose too much time. And all these 250 riders seem to be struggling with the whoops compared to the 450 class. So Alec Horn still in 2nd and has a big gap behind him, but man, he's got a lot of room to catch back up. Brandon Nygren, though, leading the rest of the field right here with Jack Mark in tow. Seth Crotty going to make a move up the inside along with one other rider that's right there, and that's Emmett Sun. So that's a 2 for pass for those guys. And man, this is a tight little battle back here, the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spots.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the entire field still kind of in a freight train, except our leaders, Matherly and Horn, 3 seconds between them, and then 4 seconds back to this fight right now. So Nygren leading this freight train. Seth Crotty right here sandwiched in with Emmett's son, Jack Mark, all going over the finish line jump together. And then a lot of guys battling it out behind them. But this 4-rider train is fantastic right now as everyone kind of stacks up on the wall jump. Seth Crotty's trying to triple by into a podium position, and he will do so. So Crotty on the Boots House number 85 now moves up into that 3rd position. Emmett's son getting a little bit out of sorts through here, might lose a spot as well. Jack Mark tripling by. He's going to get into 4th. His son shorts that jump in. Jack Mark might be fancying a move up into 3rd, and then he jumps off the track. So gives another few positions to some other guys. Johnny Padani found his way up in here. Dylan Delaire, who we talked about earlier in the show, he's down in 17th place off the start of this one. And Crotty goes down out of 3rd. Tough break for the 85.
Yeah, that was just non-stop carnage right there. So many passes, so many guys going down. It's crazy. We showed 6 guys go through that first long rhythm section there as Crotty gets a mistake. I'm not sure who was over the sand right there. That was
Colin Allen again, or it was someone on a Yamaha, right?
All white. We didn't have the skins. Maybe Nygren or something. But so we saw 6 guys go through that rhythm section. 3 of these 250 riders missed whatever rhythm they were going for. Everyone casing and messing it up. So that's, if you're looking at half the guys going in, you're going to mess it up 50% of the time. It's kind of crazy that Cade Matherly up front is able to consistently get his lines, get that big triple in, and he's just hitting this flawless, and that's why he's running away with this race lead right now, because he's not just sitting back there messing up his rhythm. But Emmett Sun still pretty close to him, actually, him and Padani giving chase, but Cade just smooth and steady right now up front. Not some blazing speed right now to pull away, but holding on to the lead and doing exactly what he needs to do.
Yeah, Matherly actually had a bad time last time by, so I don't know if there was a mistake late in the lap that we didn't see or what have you, but lost some ground there and those guys tightened it up real quick. They're only 1.5 seconds back now, trying to get up there for the race lead. Shout out to JMMX87 as well, subbing up on our Twitch channel over there at a tier 1 sub, his 12th month in a row. So 1 year subbing up and supporting us over there. Big thanks to everyone who supports over on Twitch. We appreciate the support either way, but the subs over on Twitch obviously go to paying A-Wood's gas fees to get him down here, and can't thank you guys enough for all the support going on over there. Tell you what though, Cade Matherly has not really gotten away very much here in this race, and now another mistake is going to allow Emmett Sund on the number 70 Underground RC machine to close this thing right up. We got a battle for the lead here in Birmingham halfway through this first 250 race, and Emmett Sund looks to be the aggressor here. He's going to triple up alongside of him and try to get to the outside of this corner. Oh, and then he 360s, little 540 actually through the berm, somehow stays up, but actually loses that position back to Matherly, and instead Johnny Padani now on the charge, closing up from the 2 position.
You see something new every day. That was a very interesting fall there, but Padani is on a heater. Sund actually put the best lap of the race last time around, and then just went down right there. So bummer for him, but Padani with the gap as close as we've seen it for him. Cade Matherly just really needs to focus on hitting his marks. These races aren't super long, but they're still longer than we're almost at 6 minutes. So he's got to keep going. How long are these? 12 minutes? 10? 10 for 250. So just probably about halfway there actually right now. So he's not really home free yet. Look at that small slide out by Padani. I'm seeing a lot of people get that when they land into that corner. He's able to get back up and not lose much time, maybe a tenth or two. But keep focusing on this large rhythm section. And what guys do, look at that, triple in, makes the mistake, loses the rhythm, and that is how you gain time back if you're out front. Keep hitting your marks clean and pull away from Padani when he makes mistakes.
Yeah, take advantage of that clean air while you got it if you're Cade Matherly. And now back out to about a 2-second advantage there as Emmett Sund goes back to work from 3rd. Jeff Cooper, he's hanging tough here in 4th as well, and he's going to get 3rd place because Emmett Sund goes down at the end of the whoops. So Sund's going to pick it up just as Branson gets there, and Branson now goes down on him as well. And wouldn't you know it, here comes Dylan Dallaire, who was in 17th place not that long ago, almost through the front door right there. Now he's up into 5th. So he's been kind of picking off positions. He's gone 12 spots in about 4 or 5 laps here, just taking what's coming to him as he deals with getting around some guys going down, making some passes along the way. But good job here by Dallaire to salvage this race, because remember, Triple Crown format, lowest overall score on the night wins. So you can take a 5 with you from this first race, and if you win those last 2, puts the pressure on everyone else to respond to that, and much better than rolling out of here with an outside of the top 10 result.
Yeah, I mean, Dallaire was my pick to win. I kind of called him for the first, for just this first race, but I mean, he's doing everything you need to do if you're not winning the first one. Come back from a really bad start, get yourself up to 5th, 4th, 3rd. Ooh, look at that, gets into a rider there, able to stay on 2 wheels. Great save by him, but just slowly work your way up. And is that a lapper?
No, that was a rider down behind him, but this guy in front of him is the number 70 of Emmett Sund.
Okay, sorry.
So they're battling it out for 4th place. And Dallaire is looking pretty solid in the whoops, and he's going to get into Sund.
Oh, no, he goes down, and Emmett Sund does not off the bike. That's such a bummer for him. I think he needs to get back up, regroup, and get back in there. If he finishes within the top 5, I still think he can win here tonight. He's just got to lock in for the rest of them. Gets past right there up the inside, over the tunnel. Now he's in the sand. He's got Branson right behind him, but he's got to make some moves now. Maverick Snyder with a good pass. Look at this, trying to go around the outside. Can't really make it work now.
Ooh,
gets pushed up in the berm.
Oh,
my God, it's falling apart.
Oh, man, that was his teammate Maverick Snyder racing him pretty hard. I was kind of surprised to see that. But, oh, man, this sucks for Dallaire, who was in a spot trying to move into 4th place. He's now down in 12th, and there is not much time left on the clock to try to get up there, so we'll keep eyes on him. Meanwhile, up front, Matherly's still clicking off laps. Now did a 107.3 last time by to a 108.6 out of Padani behind him, so out to 3.6 seconds as he continues to just slowly extend that gap back out. He's going to run into some lap traffic here before this race is done, so he's probably looking ahead a little bit, trying to come up with a plan for that. We are getting down to just about the last minute on the clock of this race. But if you're Matherly here, I guess just keep doing what you're doing, right? Because you're still pulling the gap out ever so slightly lap after lap.
Yeah, I mean, he's not doing anything wrong. He did everything right, actually. Got the start, fought a couple battles up front, but never really let it get to his head. No big mistakes, and has just been putting down consistent laps. You don't need to be the fastest one on the track every time around to maintain a lead. You just have to be up there and hitting your marks over and over. It almost looks like he's slowing up for stuff, making sure to really nail his timing and just focus on downsiding every jump and not really pushing the envelope too much. If he gets sketchy, I think you're going to see him pull out of some rhythms and really just play this smart. Cade is riding an amazing race right now, and I think a lot of these guys can learn from it, but they got to get the start and have the speed to be up there in the first place.
Oh, getting a little sideways in the whoops. A nice job to corral that back together, but Padani will certainly not only see that mistake ahead of him, but also see the time tighten up a little bit. It goes from over 3 seconds down to just about 2 seconds even as Padani sees that gap come down. The white flag will come out this time by. So who do you want to be in this situation? Do you like Matherly's position, or is Padani going to get this thing done maybe?
Oh, I think Matherly's got it. I think with the amount of time that he has, if it was within like half a second, he was really kind of putting pressure, putting his nose in on some of these inside corners, getting in his head, I think you would say maybe Padani, but I think Cade is easy with a 1.5 seconds he's got right now at the line.
Padani just made a mistake before the finish line jump, so now it's out to 4.6, and Matherly could cruise this thing home here on the final lap if he really wanted to, but I'm sure he's still going to go for the big lines. Of course he is. Triple in here, triple again here. If you can get this clean, the quad, a little short right there, but not too bad. And then get this rhythm section clean. It all just comes down to getting through the whoops like we saw in the last chance qualifier. Checks up, goes 2-2-3 here, and then into the whoops we go. He's almost bit him last time by. Look at, very safe. Checks up, doubles his way on exit. He's got a big enough lead, so he's playing it smart, as you said. And honestly, this will also probably help his case to not run into that lap traffic group. It seems like they got away from him a little bit. So good, smart strategies down the stretch here by Cade Matherly. Coming in with the red plate, just trying to keep clicking things off and get this championship lead to open up even that much more. And he's going to start things off on the right foot tonight here in Birmingham. 2 corners to go. The red plate holder comes into the first race of the Triple Crown and takes the victory. Cade Matherly, race 1 winner here in Birmingham.
Yeah, Padani behind him, and then Jeff Cooper in third, trying to come across the line, get a nice little podium here. Right behind him is going to be Talon Zollers in a battle with Emmett Sun to the line. We'll see if Emmett Sun can make anything happen. Not much to do, though, in these last 2 corners. You just got to lay into that rut and pray. Talon Zollers is going to take home 4th place right in front of Emmett Sun. Maverick Snyder worked his way up and behind him, and then Cody Branson or Austin Schaefer.
I don't think Schaefer got the finish line. I think Schaefer, yeah, he missed it. He's trying to come back, and he's going to lose a spot to Branson because of it. So Branson gets 8th there. Actually, no.
No, he beat him by .047, so going to be interesting 400ths between the two, but we'll see what happens there.
Pilsner, Jack Mark, Matt Cromie, Will Now, Brandon Nygren, Seth Crotty going to get passed up by Dylan Delaire and Colin Allen in the final corner, and McPherson and Alec Horn. So Crotty goes from maybe 13th to 18th in this race, but he also could have had a podium earlier on. Ben Nerona sliding down up the face is going to probably give this to Antonio Vellotti. That was close between the teammates. And Jared Gummison, the only rider not to finish on the lead lap in this one.
That's crazy. I really, really like the move by Cade Matherly. I think that Cade got the red plate. He's got a gap. He knows who he needs to be, and he knows his focus is now just on the championship. He's trying to play it smart, and you saw it with that last lap. When you got the gap and you know the whoops are a problem, you just struggled them the lap before. You go through and you double them, you roll them, you do whatever it takes to get yourself to the finish line, put yourself out with the best start out of all these guys going into the next 2 races of the Triple Crown. And I just like that. It felt very mature and great racecraft by him for to kind of hold on to that thing.
I was just surprised he got a whole shot. I mean, we normally see him start like 18th.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever gotten a good start that I can remember. So I do think he should go to the school of Spencer Turley, because Turley absolutely ripped that LCQ start, but then forgot that he had brakes on his bike, because I think he would have whole shot by like 3 bike lengths if he was able to stop and turn. I do think that this start has a lot of carnage. We saw one guy on the outside get a bad jump and go straight to the very inside and came out like 9th. So I think you might see that in the 450 class too. If you're on a very outside gate pick, these high speed, long sweeper corners really lend people to get into each other and push wide. So you can be up against those bales and just get into trouble that you didn't cause.
Yeah. These guys are going to On the inside, I think break early and just let it all push out wide, hopefully sneak through the inside. But yeah, very interesting starts to the night so far. Give a shout out to Darius P8 subbing up here with his Twitch Prime sub for 2 months over on Twitch. So thank you, Darius. And a reminder, if you're over on Twitch watching right now, which it looks like there's about, how many of you guys are over on the Twitch side? There is 60 to 70 of you guys. If you have Amazon Prime and you're using Twitch on the same account, maybe you don't even realize this, you get a free sub every month with your Amazon Prime account. So if you're watching on Twitch, I'd greatly appreciate it if you use that to sub to us. You can sub to another channel if you want, though, too. That's fine. But either way, yeah, it's free. And then obviously it helps us out as well. So thank you guys so much for the continued support. And of course, Dirt Bike Dan, it was always great catching up with Milt and getting his perspective on things. Talk to him back at Daytona. I always hang out with and talk with Andy White, as you know, but Milt is the guy making things happen for FXR. So shout out to him. And honestly, it's cool that with you, Dirt Bike Dan, and obviously Andy's kind of involved a little bit as well, that you guys have FXR Game Time. It's so cool to see real life companies like FXR be involved in the sport, in esports side of moto, and yeah, just love to see the support that keeps coming from that. So shout out to you guys, and obviously FXR continues with their forward thinking in the sport of motocross and supercross. So thanks so much.
FXR is the best. Yeah, I like I want to shout out all the like industry people that we get. There's always people that come out that watch these, you know, whether you're watching them live if you have the free time on a Wednesday night, or you know, if you watch them playing back on YouTube afterwards. Thank you guys for all coming out and supporting and watching us. It's cool to see people kind of get into it. I feel like it's more and more kind of becoming less taboo, and people are like talking about it more around the races, which is awesome. And then shout out Alabama native Jared Gaskew, my friend. I love you.
Sweet home Alabama.
Muscle Shoals, baby.
All right, here we go, folks. It's time for the 450 class. Race 1 coming at you here in Alabama. Who's going to get the whole shot? Who's going to win race 1 in Birmingham? Let's go. Pretty good start for Carter. Good start for Leclerc as well. But from the inside, I think that's Tanner Rogers on the Triumph who gets there first. No, it's going to be Seth Shirley picking up the RaceFactorGaming.com Whole Shot Award. He gets out to the early lead, and Carter is trying to go with him. He's tripling in. He's tripling alongside of him. He's going off the racetrack to the left side, and a save and a half by the champ to still get on in second place. I don't know how Tanner Rogers doesn't hit him right there, but Carter hangs on, and now we got a good one brewing here with Shirley and Carter out front.
Yeah, great start by those guys right there. Seth Shirley able to hold on to it. Carter just, we've seen a couple people miss that seat bounce. I don't think you really have to. Maybe they're letting off and going over the bars on that same triple. Holds on to it though, and look at this. He's still able to try to give chase to Seth Shirley here. But man, Shirley's trying to pull away that early lead. We know he's a guy that has the elite speed that can match Braden Carter, especially with the start. So we're going to have to see how these guys, maybe after this lap or halfway through the next one, kind of where they match up and where their speed is. But Seth Shirley, saw him with that blazing fast qualifying time today. He's the fastest one on the track, and I think he might be able to pull away.
Well, let's see if he can get away early in this race with the champ bearing down right behind him. Tanner Rogers up here. Rasmus Balzer is also up here. So a four-rider train of some really fast dudes at the front of this one. We haven't done any onboard action just yet as Carter gets a little bit sideways in this rhythm section. Why don't we do so with Rasmus Balzer and see what the Rapid Danes perspective is of this racetrack. Outside here, triple in, going for the quad as these guys try to close up on Carter, who did not get the triple quad. And I think we're starting to see that line, if you can get it consistently, is the faster way around this racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely that triple quad. I mean, I think we found the fastest lines through that first and second rhythm. Look at this. You're seeing that now, going inside, jumping all the way out, pivoting, coming back inside, and then jumping out again. That was super cool right there. Love seeing that. But I think that line that's the fastest for the guys is not the best racing line, though, when you have someone right behind you. So you have to protect those insides. You're unable to do it. Absolutely huge whip. Knows he's on the stream right now, throwing down for us, giving us bar humps, almost sliding out. Rasmus Balzer, legend. Thank you for that. As we move up to Braden Carter, just leading right here over Tanner Rogers. Not really able to gain any ground on Shirley, but it's a long race for these guys, even though they're only 12+1. Carter off the track.
Carter jumping into the tough blocks. His rhythm section's
my God,
so tricky for him, and he's still quads getting back onto the racetrack. It is insane that he has been able to pull that back now twice pretty easily. But look at this, triple quad right there for Tanner Rogers right behind him on that RPF FamMX.com Triumph. He's putting the heat on Braden Carter as Seth Shirley continues to lead this race. This is probably the best case scenario for Shirley, is to have someone pressuring Carter, because then instead of Carter playing offense here and just trying to close that gap down, he's instead kind of having to ride a wide bike a little bit and not allow Rogers to get a pass done.
Yeah, I mean, look at the gap back to Rasmus Balzer, 6 seconds behind this battle right here, then like another 7 back to 5th place Hayden Stevenson. So this is really the only battles going on near the front. And the fact is that Tanner Rogers is not a slouch right now and able to run the pace, if not pulling up onto the rear wheel of Carter. So he really has to think about it. Excellent point right there, Kellen. I think that's definitely what's going to happen. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see Braden get past right here, especially when he's been struggling in this rhythm that's coming up.
Well, let's see if he gets it this time. Cuts out of the corner a little bit early, triples in clean. Rogers not able to get the rhythm behind him. Carter this time tickling the tough blocks on the left side, but so far so good. But then again, going defensive on the inside, Rogers is able to go 3-4 into this corner, and it seems like even though Rogers kind of blew that rhythm section, he didn't lose hardly any time, and now Carter's down out of second place.
God.
Big legs off crash at the end of the whoops. I think he might still get it up in third. He does. That is insane, because it looks like 4th place Balzer went down. These guys have gotten away so far already. I can't believe that Balzer picks it up still in 4th while he was in 4th place. He's 16 seconds off the lead, and he's in 4th.
Yeah, someone just tried to take out in the corner back there. I don't even think it was this battle. Man, what's crazy is look at these top 3 right now that we have, not on the screen, but Shirley, Rogers, Carter. And remember that next race, it's probably going to be a different breakout group of people. I just think it's awesome. It all just depends on the start in these Triple Crowns. You know, we might see Ryan Chalsey battling up there in 2nd place next time, when it looks like he's just way fastest. But moving up front to Seth Shirley right here, he has some pressure. Tanner Rogers is making some moves, and I think he's loving this outside triple quad line, and he's going to be right up on the rear wheel. Keep it on the track. Man, look at how much time he's getting on the lead.
Yeah, and honestly, he's doing something in that other rhythm section that I didn't think I would see out of the 450 guys. It looks like he's consciously cutting low in the berm before that rhythm section, so the double in is a little bit smoother, and then he goes that 3-4-3 option to exit it, which puts him on the outside a little bit faster, carries speed into that triple in after that. So yeah, I think Rogers has found something out here about how you set up that entire rhythm section into the 90 that maybe is actually gaining him time lap after lap without even realizing it. Oh, and Shirley slides out of the lead. Rogers plows into him but stays up. Honestly, what in the world? Sim physics is so weird these days. In our day, if you hit someone like that, you're going down for sure.
You used to be able to send them very far, so that would have been a tactic right there, is to plow into him. As Rogers is now comfortably in the lead, he's just got to settle down. So, okay, so funny you pointed that out. I initially thought that he took that line just to get inside Braden Carter's head, because I only saw him do it one time. He poked a nose in. Braden had to have seen him there and heard him, and then kind of you get him making mistakes and thinking that you're going to be diving up the inside anywhere. And now I'm seeing that it really allows him to get that triple out of the rhythm, land on that left side, rail that 90-degree right-hander, and then easily get that triple quad. And it really, he's setting up that triple quad section before the whoops, all the way at the beginning, going low and doubling into that rhythm section, the long rhythm on the track before. So really awesome way that Tanner Rogers has broken down this track, and that's allowed him to figure it out better than anyone. He's leading us around right now as we reach the halfway mark.
Yeah, halfway through this first race of 3 here in the Triple Crown at Birmingham. Tanner Rogers leads. Seth Shirley right behind him, still in 2nd place. And Braden Carter's running some good laps. 104.3 there in the background. That is 2 104s in back-to-back laps, but Seth Shirley went 104.2 to one up him just barely, and actually tightened that gap down by almost a whole second last time by to Tanner Rogers. So Shirley looks like he's fired up after that fall. He's going right back to work, but that's not going to help his case at all. Does he still go for the quad? No. Big time loss right there, having to 4-jump that rhythm section, and now Carter's going to be right on his hip as these two go to battle for 2nd.
Yeah, when you have Braden Carter right on your ass like that, it's really going to be hard for him to try to run those fast lines of race pace. He was 0.8 faster than our leader last time around. Seth Shirley, we know, is the fastest guy on the track here tonight. But when you have someone right on your rear like Braden Carter, I feel like it doesn't really open up your corners or allow you to open up your corners and kind of get away and hit those, because I think he would normally, if Carter wasn't right there, just go into hot lap mindset and try to gain that lead back by pure and raw speed alone.
Interesting to see Rogers is also going outside in the 90 coming across the start straight right there. I don't know if that's a different tactic as well, just to maybe get out of the main line and the main ruts a little bit, but so far it's kind of all working for him. Almost 8 minutes into this race, still checking up to double in right here, whereas you can see the two guys behind him are tripling in, and they gain that time here, but then they kind of lose it at the end of the rhythm section. Surprised neither of them are going to double to the outside and try to carry that momentum. They just are staying inside over 2-3-2, and still Rogers going 3-4 in that rhythm sections, opening up that gap ever so slightly.
Yeah, we have a Wyatt Grant in chat said that his dad said he would have done the same thing, and that I had an L take. But look at this, small mistake by Rogers going, I'm fucking pissed. That's my favorite rider, dude. Come on, Josh, you're supposed to be the good guy. Tanner Rogers, though, a couple small mistakes as we get into these lappers. He's got pressure, though, so Seth Shirley less than a second behind. Another big mistake. Seth Shirley trying to make a move up the inside. Doesn't make the move, but he knows that he's there to see if Rogers still goes outside. Ooh, wow. It's like a slingshot. If he's any closer, he's not going to be able to take that line without them making contact as he goes across that rut. Crosses over on him up the inside of Shirley.
Oh, they touch, and Shirley's able to get the advantage. I can't believe Rogers doesn't fall right there either. Again, weird physics with sim these days that these guys can actually get into each other and it doesn't cause problems. Now they're both doubling in as here comes Carter tripling in. He's going to quad up behind them, and Shirley goes defensive to the inside. Carter almost lands on him. Rogers can't get the line. He loses both positions now as Shirley takes over the lead, and Carter's right there. 3 riders nose to tail 9 minutes into this race.
Yeah, the crazy thing is there's a 12-second gap back to fourth, so these 3 are your leaders 9.5 minutes in, and they're this close. Braden Carter able to come back from a big fall off. Might show that he's the fastest one on the track and doesn't like me saying about Seth Shirley. Braden Carter trying to take home the win here. He's settled in. I feel like he works best when the track breaks down. Look at this. Jumps up the inside. Small mistake by Shirley. Just shows him the nose there, and that's going to make him extra aware that he's there. Tanner Rogers dropping back just a little bit, coming across the line here. Braden Carter just a few tenths behind. But man, this is such an amazing race we're getting out. And this is just round 1 of 3 of the Triple Crown.
Yeah, this is only going to get better as the night goes on, it would seem, as Shirley is just getting hounded right now by Braden Carter. Carter is going to work to try to make this first race victory his, but he goes a little long on that triple and then has to triple into the corner right here. Oh my gosh, someone going the other way on the racetrack right there. I think, was that? No, I don't know who that was actually. Maybe Jeremy Siebold on the 10 as Rogers shorts the quad that time by and gets a little bit sideways entering the whoops, and a nice save for the 39. Holds on to third place with that nice kick back into the whoops. Going along those tough blocks, he clipped one and somehow stayed on 2 wheels all the way through. So now we're back to status quo where we were pretty much at the start of this thing. Shirley leading, Carter second, Rogers third, and it's staying that way for now, but we're going to stay that way for another minute plus a lap in this race. We'll find out as Shirley comes down to check in on lap number 11.
It's pretty crazy that every one of these 3 guys has had their chance to lead, and we're only 11 minutes into the race, and they've all been leading for about a third of it. Pretty cool here, but Seth Shirley taking back the spot that he feels is his after getting such a great start, trying to ride away. We'll see if he can lock in now. These guys still making so many mistakes, jumping towards the edges of the track, off the track we saw Carter earlier. So really interesting to see them having that much trouble with just a triple in there, but it is downsiding a 5-footer, so I think it is tricky for them, and they're really pushing everything they have.
Oh,
look at this, lappers. They get by. Carter with a huge run through the whoops. That's the strong point. Up, cuts down the inside. Oh, my goodness. And he makes a move to the lead.
Well, look at Shirley. He's going to try to double back to the outside. Carter's might defend this inside. Shirley around the outside. Passes him back to take the lead away again. Use the outside all the way around in the sand. And now Carter goes right back to the drawing board. And don't forget, Rogers is still hanging tough right with these guys in third place. So if they get into each other, Rogers is hoping that this race could be his. Time has just now expired. White flag in the air here at Birmingham. Who wins race 1? Shirley, Carter, or will it be Rogers to sneak through and get it done?
Yeah, Shirley's so glad the white flag came out with like a second to go, so he's really got to hold on to this. Carter, though, knows he's got to execute, and you have such a big gap. You have nothing to waste by sending it as hard as possible, staying a little bit lower in the rhythms here. Seth Shirley scrubs that quad, jumps to the inside. They're both protecting. Carter's been amazing through the whoops, and that's his strength. He's going to go fifth, pretty much wide open here. So watch out. We got some lappers coming up, and watch the whoop speed from Carter.
Wow, and
Splitting
the lapper gets involved. Oh, Carter runs into the lapper, and Rogers almost gets into Carter, who's coming back on the track. Rogers is going to get that pass done over the tunnel jump. Let's see if he can chop the line off. No, Carter jumps to the inside. He blocks the line. We got a lapper super involved right here, right now. Oh, and Rogers gets into the side of the tunnel jump here on the final lap. So all that chaos ensues, and this time it's Seth Shirley that doesn't get involved in any of it. 2 corners to go. Shirley survives the barrage of attacks. Seth Shirley wins race 1 here in Birmingham.
What an absolute unreal ride. Braden Carter, just some bad luck there. The only thing I would say as Tanner Rogers comes across in third is that Braden Carter probably wasn't actually gaining as much. I think Seth Shirley knew I also have to send it through this whoop section, because you saw Carter with the lightning speed and Seth Shirley wasn't really getting gained on too much. That lapper got into it, but luckily doesn't change the results, only if he was able to get that pass. But Seth Carr, Rasmus Balzer, Castellaneta, I think, Stevenson, I missed someone. Lang, Stevenson, and Eaglin, wow, all the way back in 9th, and he's the guy closest in the title, is he not? So huge for him to be back here in 9th, not even a factor all race, and it's going to be interesting to see if he gets a good start. Next race, is he able to run up front with those guys? Joey Carter just comes across the finish line in front of Luke Sullivan, our SMX champion. Jacob Hubbard, known good starter, but finishes 12th. Cash Woods from the LCQ, 13th. And Heilman.
Tharp, Claire, Siebel, Caden Speck, Ryan Chelsea, Jax Lindsay, Jake Spees, Frank Jackson, your running order from race number 1. Got a request in chat from T-Mac. Can you guys tone down the enthusiasm and baby up the broadcast like Ricky? JK, great call, fellas. Honestly, it's fun, man. We're having a good time out here. And when these guys battle like that, that's when it's the best.
What's his catchphrase? He's like, I'll tell you what.
This is a must situation right now.
There's one that he always, it's like 8 times in the broadcast. Here's the thing. You're never going to get racing like that anywhere else.
Nope.
There's nowhere else. No other race series. No other game. I will tell you, MX Sim is the best for professional racing, and we see it week in and week out. Almost every time we leave this room, I go, holy shit, that was the best race of the year. Holy shit, that was the best race of the year. I think the only best one that wasn't the best race of the year was the one I wasn't here. You guys bring it every single time, and that race was just insane from start to finish. I've been playing in the last 3 months. I probably put in 60 hours in the MX bikes and probably 30 minutes in the MX Sim. Can't play the game anymore, but it does not. It is the premier racing, the physics, the way that these guys are able to battle, make moves is freaking badass. And I just love watching it. It's so cool.
Well, that's our hope a little bit, you know, with the streams here, is that even if you're not as good as these guys, even if you're not a pro racer, you feel like you can be part of it. And we hope that we can kind of bring you guys into the action every single week, and feel like we do a pretty good job. I don't want to pat ourselves on the back too much, but it's always great race calls when these guys are battling out front, I feel like. So yeah, very exciting first race there. If you're just now joining us, you guys just missed a terrific 450 race 1 where Seth Shirley took the win in that. Cade Matherly won the first 250 race, and we're about to see 250 race 2 coming up here in just a minute. Before that, I want to give a quick shout out to a couple people in our Twitch chat who have been subbing up while we've been calling this intense action here, so they connected to the server. But thank you so much to VMX for Life subbing up with his Prime account, 4 months for him, and Racer D-Rat 66 also subbing up as well. My guy Racer Rat always coming through when I need him the most. So thank you guys so much for the support. Definitely appreciate it. We got a couple hydrates from Y Bubby too.
And what Kellen means by that is we're getting rich.
What I mean by that is
the catbird seat is yours.
Catbird seat for sure.
Keep going with the Rickyisms in chat. I love to hear your guys' grasp. I just need to add a couple to my repertoire. I have a couple that I getting comfy. I haven't said that in a while though, but like being comfortable on the track is super important, I feel like, and you could tell when someone's just flowing. That's getting comfy.
Senior Blat, my my overlays that I have, well, I made a couple of them myself, but most of the ones that you're seeing are I have a turbo subscription with Streamlabs OBS, so most of them just are available if you have turbo. Anyway, race 2 of 250s coming at you. Here we go. Will it be Cade Matherly again, or will someone else shine through? A lot of guys getting off the gate pretty tough right there. And Matherly, I saw him off the track in turn 1, but I think he got back on and indeed does get the whole shot. But João Victor, the Devasland KTM program, goes to the front, and I think this rider is Brazilian, so we're about to see a lot of Brazilian flags in the chat here. If all of our Brazilian fans are watching his guy get away right now, Alec Horn moves into second, Johnny Padani in third, and Matherly fourth. So some of the familiar faces up front in this one, but João Victor leading this thing early on.
Wait.
Kick.
It's hard to say the way out loud. I was trying to say it and I ran out of breath faster than I thought I was going to. Great start by João Victor here, leading these guys around. We're going to see how much this kind of shapes up. Alec Horn and Johnny Padani, though, both good showings in the first one and here early on, and Cade, damn. So João Victor's really the only one who doesn't belong here, but you know what? He's up front. He's in the catbird seat. He can do whatever he sets his mind to, and I think he's going to set his mind to trying to get away right here because he has him right on his ass. Look at that slide out there that those guys, so many people have been able to save that tonight, and he's pulling away or trying to pull away from Alec Horn, but he's trying not to let him.
Yeah, this is a good fight early on as Horn goes a little bit nose high on that triple in. João Victor holding steady at the front of the field after lap number 1. Matherly, Padani, third and fourth still back there. But this is Alec Horn's MO it's starting to become, where he gets a little fire under him early in the race, and he's going after the race lead. It didn't quite work out in that first race to hold on up there as he nose picks the second to last whoop a little bit. But Alec Horn looking fired up here in race 2. Oh, that's Padani up into the Davalos bales after the whoops. Backs it down and just puts a leg out to hold it up right there as he gets going once again. Cody Branson closes down. Looks like someone else went down in the background. A couple guys at the end of the whoops down right there, but Padani able to avoid complete disaster right there as we go back to the front. João Victor versus Alec Horn again.
Yeah, huge save right there by Padani getting his leg down. I feel like my heart stopped because I've seen a million times you tip over like that and you actually get a legs off after being stuck up on the berm. But back on these two, Alec Horn is reminding me a lot of Seth Carr from maybe 2 weeks ago, where he was coming out and being, oh my God, this guy has blazing fast speed, but kind of a crasher with some good starts. But Alec Horn, just from what he did in the first race, started up front, showed a lot of good speed, and then just wasn't able to keep it together through the 10 minutes plus a lap. But right now, he's trying to change that. He has some experience jumping up the inside. Does he make a move? João Victor cuts back down, not able to get the drive through the whoops. Alec Horn, though, going sideways here, and Alec Horn cements himself into the race lead, but João Victor not giving up right now, trying to work his way and fight back.
This battle's not over yet, and don't look now, but Cade Matherly is lurking in the background with the new fastest lap of the race, a 106.992 last time by for the number 25 machine. Horn a mistake. João Victor jumps back into the race lead, and here we go back and forth again in Birmingham as Horn now nestles right in between João Victor and Cade Matherly, closing up from the third position. So these guys are starting to break away a little bit from the rest of the field. It's Jared Gummison right now in the 4th spot, just ahead of Johnny Padani, but another new fastest lap of the race, Cade Matherly, 106.750, third place.
Yeah, Alec Horn trying to beat the allegations of being just a crasher. He went back in chat to Anchor Award, went from 1st to 17th, and then goes down there. Commentator's curse coming into that section. Sorry, bro.
Not going to beat the allegations.
Yeah, he's getting cooked in Discord, I guess they said too. Gummison by him and Cade Matherly moving on up. So now João Victor has to deal with possibly the scariest person on the track right here. All the other guys crashed out. Padani crashed, Horn crashed, and now he's got to deal with Cade Matherly himself after a dominant first moto win here tonight. He's coming up, trying to make a move on João Victor. Got a lot of time to make that happen as João has a nice little lead built, but we'll see how long he can hold on to this. I'm not sure if he has the same pace that Cade has, but he's definitely been able to keep it on 2 wheels here.
Yeah, this is really interesting to see what João Victor can do with this, because not a good first main event for him, but we really haven't seen him up front hardly at all this year. Now he gets a good start, and he's leading this thing early. He looks comfortable. He's doing some cool things on the bike, but does that amount into a race victory? Well, he's still got about a half a race left to go to try to figure that out. And Matherly again running good lap times, 107.4 last time by. Johnny Pedani lights up the screens though in P5 at a 106.523. Unfortunately for him, he's 14 seconds off the lead, so he's going to need some help to get up here, while Matherly continues to just chip that gap down and close up on our race leader, João Victor. This is honestly very impressive, though, for João Victor, not only to keep fighting and leading this race, but he hasn't made all that many mistakes. He's just slightly slower than these guys up here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's it, right? He's just some guy that got a great start, right? And you just maybe don't have the speed. You didn't qualify in the top 5 or 6. You know, you're not really supposed to be out there. But the one thing you can control is riding clean, consistent laps and just kind of letting the race develop around you. So Cade unable to kind of reel him in as fast as I thought he was going to, as we're coming up, just hit 5.5 minutes, so probably halfway through this race right now. Cade throwing down some leg swag over the finish, trying to show us him pushing. We'll see if there's any big differences as we come to this this main rhythm section here, if there's a way that Cade hits it a little bit faster, but not really gaining too much, which is awesome.
Yeah, João Victor's just doing his business up here, hitting his marks and not making that many mistakes. Like I said, the lap times maybe aren't as fast as what's going on with Matherly right behind him, but still very competitive lap times. 106.60 last time by for his personal best. So he's kind of starting to match those times a little bit more as he settles into a groove. But Matherly is just relentless, man. He just keeps chipping away. 10th here, 10th there, 2 tenths here. And now he can definitely sense an opportunity as these two have gotten away at the front of the field. This is 1 and 2 on the racetrack, but they're 14 seconds up the road from Johnny Pedani, who's now in the third. And, of course, Pedani still factors in for the overall win, second in the first race, third right now. But Matherly's trying to go for the 1-1 sweep to kick things off here in the Triple Crown. And he's got to get around Brazil's finest, João Victor, to get the job done. So now, in this situation, a couple of people in chat also saying João Victor's got that lag bubble, the Brazilian lag bubble that you and I are all too familiar with, racing Eduardo Simões and Juan Pablo and Cal Miranda back in the day. But yeah, what does Matherly do here? Does he try to rush a pass quickly, or does he just settle down and wait for João Victor to make a mistake maybe?
I think he settles and waits. I mean, you just saw another mistake right there, and we didn't even have to wait long for it. Tripling, but he's on the outside, unable to do it. He gets squeezed off as João hits that triple out. 2 laps ago, they were 1/10 apart, and he's down off the bike, and that's an easy dub for Cade, as the kid would say. I was looking at lap times. He was only 1/10 faster, Cade was, 2 laps ago. Then João made a mistake, half a lap last lap, and he got a little bit closer. And then so once you kind of lose that 1/10, 5 more tenths, and now the guy's right on you, it's easier to make that mistake. And I think we saw it. Just a little brain fart there. Doesn't get the easy double into the corner out of a 90 that you've been nailing every single lap, and you gift it up. And that's just the difference in racecraft and time on the track that these guys have. So Cade with an easy big lead right now. João Victor got up in second though, so still able to hold on to that spot as Johnny Pedani is 11 seconds back. Not sure if we got any other battles going on the track, but Cade Matherly is just putting on the clinic.
Yeah, well, Matherly, like we saw in the first moto, now it's just time for him to try to settle this down and bring this thing home. So we'll see if anything happens there. There is Pedani, who just did a 105.9 last time by. Alec Horn's holding a strong 4th. Will now, and a host of guys just set their personal best. Will now, Jared Gummison, Talon Zollers, and Schaefer all did their personal best laps this last time by. And we've been watching that good battle at the front this whole time. Look at what's going on back here, man. We got a lot of guys stacked together, and now we got a big stack up in this corner. Maverick Snyder goes down. Ben Nerona goes down. Chromie was hung up in there as well. Antonio Velati gets through. Alec Horn slips back a little ways now as well. So, man, it's kind of all over the place in this midfield battle right now.
Yeah, Alec Horn fighting for his life right now, trying not to drop back as far as he did in the first one. Getting through the whoops clean, blitzing straight over someone's bike, it looks like. So 2 guys pretty much going down in that whoop section as Austin Schaefer, you see him get passed by Ben Arona as he's getting up. Matthew Chromie, Canadian legend, MX Sim veteran, out here putting in the work, putting in the laps, so qualified inside the top 10 here today. Just an absolute ripper, and shout out to our guy.
Yeah, just holding tough right now with a strong P8. Not quite where he wants to be, I'm sure, but still a good ride nonetheless. Looks like Pedani is just clicking the gap down a little bit on here. On João Victor, who front flips and lands it Holy smokes, what a save. He was going over the bars, coming up short on that triple, front flips, and then just barely saves it. Now he's getting sideways in the whoops again, and Padani is there. The fight for second place is on, and this will be crucial for Padani because if he can get second, obviously then it just keeps that 2-point gap between he and Matherly going into the last race. So if he can go out and win the last race, puts the pressure on Matherly to at least finish right behind him, or else Padani could still win this overall.
Yeah, Johnny Tsunami Padani got around the whoops or the sand right there pretty good. Got a nice little, he just feels comfortable in the waves, bro, just riding it. And so I like, he had a really great push out of the sand section, but then just makes a mistake right there going through that 90. So, man, bummer for him. But João Victor, I think he's starting to let it get to him. 10 minutes past. These guys are on the white flag lap. Johnny Padani has pretty good gap behind him, 15 seconds. So there's nothing to lose for Johnny. He's going to push. Look at that. Big mistake by João Victor as Padani gets the perfect line right there. Jumps up the inside. He has to hit the brakes, which is weird. I thought he had the pass already cemented. But look at this, up the inside. He's going to get it now. João Victor doesn't try to cut down. Tries to carry some speed. Whoop speed, though, up the inside, Kellen. He's going for it.
They run into a pileup. There's a ton of riders down. Somehow neither of them fall off the bike, and João Victor gets up first. He clicked into ninth gear and just went for it through the whoops and somehow stays up. This one's not over yet, so we'll come back to this in just a minute. Noronha's going to be right here. I'm going to stick with this for just a second. Does he go for this pass on the inside? No, he doesn't. Kane Matherly takes the win in race 2. Let's go back to this battle. Can Noronha get by João Victor, who's trying to hold on for this second position? 2 corners to go. He can defend the inside here. Gets a little hung up. Defends the inside one more time. João Victor second here in race 2 over Johnny Padani.
Yeah, Padani, man, that was crazy. João Victor, though, he had the pass made. You just know if those zappers weren't there, you saw the whoop speed up the inside, had the pass made. Well, now comes in 5th. Alec Horn only dropped back to 6th. I think he fought his way back up. Jared Gummison coming across. Matt Cromie inside the top 10. Branson through the LCQ, still sending it. Pilsner back there on the Nexus machine. Or Nexus. I don't know what he's saying. Yogi, Rider Jeff Cooper down and do a barrel roll. And he goes down on the triple with Seth Crotty, and that allows someone else to get by. I missed who it was, but these two losing 2, 3, 4 spots is Schaefer, McPherson, Schaefer, Carter, someone, Crotty. There we go. Yeah, all sorts of dudes getting past right here. We're just getting gifts. We thought these 290s and a triple was going to be the most boring finish, and we've seen about 18 passes in 3 races. Coming down to the end, Emmett Sun straight up not having a good time. Dylan Dallaire, championship contender, second in points, 6 points back, and he's out of the race in 21st.
Wow.
Does it look? Spin it around. What's his ghost look like? You can see it.
He's in the top block.
It looks
he
like
came in chat though, and he said, "Well, this shit cooked." So.
Yeah, you know, it'd be like that. There's a couple people that are giving up, bro. We got freaking Trogman out here saying that fucking sim sucks, bro, and I'm over it. And so Trogman's a loser, and he's giving up on the season. Everyone else, Dallaire, you can't give up, bro. You were the only one in the fight.
Oh, man. iMoto in chat wants to know, during the break, he asked us, who do you think could run the fastest IRL plus sim combined lap time at Foxborough? And someone said
Fox
Jeremy
Raceway,
Smith.
I think.
Oh, at Fox Raceway or Foxborough? Well, let's say Fox Raceway then. If you're asking me that question, then I will say Jet, because Jet knows how to play sim. I think he could get around the track like 20
Probably
seconds.
12 seconds faster than the next fastest.
Yeah, so I think he could get around the pro sim track in, 12, 15 seconds slower or so than maybe the best time, and then run 12 to 15 seconds faster than pretty much anyone else that could even maybe run a good lap time IRL. So.
I think it's going to be like a mid-level... That's so... Because the name, I was going to say like a kitchen or something.
Like Leitzel? Leitzel would be up there, right?
Leitzel, but Leitzel's still got to be 10 seconds off Jet, right?
Yeah, but he would probably be like 10 to 15 seconds better than Jet and sim.
That's true. So probably someone that's half decent. So that's where I was gonna say
that's a good one, Casey Cochran.
Oh yeah, yeah, him. Because someone who would be within 5 seconds, but then way more than 5 seconds against the fastest guys. Like I don't think someone like, even a Burkeen or who's the I mean, all the fast amateurs, every kid from NorCal that ever played, just like a B level guy that's really fast at sim and has won a race. I still don't think you need to be fast at the dirt bike part and then okay in sim.
And they're also saying like Jalik Swole, who's really good at the game. Max Volan just won a
was it Jalik though or someone else?
That was Jalik. Okay. I've played with Jalik. He's really good. Volan just won an amateur Supercross title last year in the game, and he would obviously be pretty fast. But I'm trying to think of like the top end. Yes, AP would also be good. He's not as good as his brother was, but he's very good at the game. Juju.
Shirley is like amateur. Shirley,
he would be like Leitzel level in terms of speed. So then in this game, obviously,
I think he has like 3 seconds on Leitzel in this game.
Yeah,
maybe not that much, but
I don't know. Be interesting. That honestly. It got my brain turning. I might be able to pull this off.
I was going to say...
I think I could get one of these guys to actually ride Fox Raceway IRL and do a lap time check and then get them to play the sim track.
I bet you could probably do like 5 of them and have it be like just like a fast Tuesday and just be out there. I'm
going to do that. Well, I'm going to try to get a group of people together then, of guys that play sim that I know, and have them out of Fox Raceway, and we'll get them on camera, and then we'll get them to play sim.
Lap time. We'll take lap times.
We're going to do this.
Commentate.
I can do that. All right, here we go. Race 2 of the 450 boys coming at you right now. Remember, we got a really good first main event in that first one that really set us up well in race 2. So what's going to happen now? Can Shirley win race 2? Can Carter come back and win this one? Here we go. We're off and running in Birmingham. Couple guys hit the gate. Looks like it is going to be Rogers running deep this time.
Oh, my God.
A lot of guys went down. Huge crash. And Seth Carr gets the whole shot this time. T-Lang's up in second. Castellaneta third. Well, you said it in the first race, and now another stack up in turn 2. We're going to have a whole different cast of characters up front, and we certainly do here in race 2. Remember, Seth Carr was 4th in the first race.
Yeah, Luke Sullivan hit the gate, was stuck there with someone else. He's in 4th right now, by the way, after those 2 huge pileups. So Seth Carr, what an amazing start. Tyler Lang and Leclerc. Hubbard is the only other guy that was up front. I guess Jax Lindsay, they're back in 4th and 5th. But look at that carnage. More people going down in the whoops behind them. You could see them back there. So these 3 are trying to pull away, trying to be the new cast of characters for this moto and say, we're going to be the top 3 now. We're going to pull away by 15 seconds. And I feel like it's completely possible. You have Braden Carter all the way back in 7th right now, so not too far off, but man, we'll see if these guys can rebound after a rough first moto and try to fix their standings with a good finish here in Moto 2.
Well, T-Lang already feeling the heat from Leclerc. We have got 3 former champions right at the sharp end of the field right now. And look at Leclerc low-lining into this corner, gives Lang a little bit of a nudge trying to get into that second place. Leclerc has been kind of non-existent the last few weeks, but finally gets a good start in this one. We'll see what the number 7 machine can do as Lang just exits stage left, jumps right off the track, going to get back on right behind Leclerc and in front of Jax Lindsay. We also have Luke Sullivan up here and Eaglin with a good start. Carter's in 7th just behind these guys. So this is actually insane how good this freight train is. And I'll tell you what, Seth Shirley, dead last right now. P22 for our race 1 winner. Oh, it's getting stacked up in the corner is T-Lang. He loses 2 spots. Jax Lindsay and Luke Sullivan go by. Man, this is wild already 2 laps in.
Seth Shirley absolutely cooked right now. Braden Tharp, too, is up there in points. We haven't seen him at all tonight, really, but he's down in 21st. Man, this is a crazy battle here. A big chance for these guys to make points up. Jax Lindsay might be the points leader right now if it finished this way. He's had 2 pretty good consistent races up here, but he's got a whole group of riders behind him. 3 guys all pretty much in the same corner, so he's got to pull away, makes a mistake, slides up the face of the finish. We don't see it. Luke Sullivan, after a great start, accidentally gets into the back of him, and he's going to go down. Both those riders losing 4 or 5 spots. That allows Castellaneta by Braden Carter, Colby Eaglin, who's now showing his face after a horrific first moto last time. Let's see what happens here as he's losing a spot right now, too, in the rhythm section to Braden Carter as he goes around the outside, hits this triple quad. Probably going to get the quad up the inside, might even make the pass here. Ooh, unable to get close enough, but he is making moves, trying to work his way forward, and look at that whoop speed.
Oh my gosh, flying as he gets down the inside of T-Lang to move up into 3rd place, and he probably at this point knows just how deep in the field Seth Shirley is, as he's now up to 18th, but it is just going to be a long road ahead of Seth Surley in this second race right now to try to get any sort of decent score on the board and still have a shot at maybe winning this thing overall heading into the final moto. But if you're Braden Carter, this is a great position to be in. You're already in third place. 3 minutes into this race, you still got 9 minutes and a lap left to work with, and you can see the gap coming down to Alexis Leclerc in front of you. He just went a second a lap faster than Leclerc last time by, and pretty much matched our race leader Seth Carr out front, both of them in the 104.8 range. So Leclerc losing touch with the leader. Meanwhile, Carter is just going to work.
Yeah, just absolutely laying down lap times. Fastest man on the track. Ooh, taken over by Seth Shirley in 14th as I just looked over at live timing. But Braden Carter, we're on board. You guys love to see this. I absolutely hate it. I have to turn my head every time they hit a corner, and it really messes with my brain. Most people, do you feel like when we played, the majority of racers were third person, and then now the majority of fast guys are first person? Because I feel like
Zach won a title in 2013 as a third-person player, and that was a little bit of an outlier. Because remember, Jones was first person, Tyson was first person, Shaq was first person. So, like, it was rare to have a third-person guy be that fast, I feel like.
Yeah.
Leclerc eventually got into, winning titles as a first-person player.
Maybe I just suck.
Hunter
Maybe
Hunter
third person
first
sucks
person.
then. Because
I think Byron Downen was third person, though. Oh, maybe he was first. I don't know.
It's just, I can't believe they do this. You got to have some sort of special thing going on in your brain. 104.0, Braden Carter retakes the fastest lap of the race. Y'all just saw it here first. Braden Carter absolutely shredding on everyone. Check this triple. Watch the quad to the inside. It just doesn't gain as much as it needs to off the lip, but it does into the corner. Right behind Alexis Leclerc, leader's down, so they're going to go around it. Carter into second, Leclerc into first. Now we're watching a battle for the lead. Seth Carr was down up front, and he's going to try to regain behind these guys. But look at the moves by Braden Carter. He's trying to get by Leclerc and get away fast.
Yeah, Carter is going absolutely ham right now, trying to make this pass and get into the race lead while still Seth Shirley is struggling. He had a bad lap last time by 17th place now for the number 44 machine, so it's not getting any better. Meanwhile, Leclerc leads for the first time in a few months now in this race. He's going to go to the inside defensive line right here, squares off the corner. He's still playing a little bit of defense, and this is actually slowing them both down and allowing Seth Carter to actually kind of start to get back into the picture just a little bit there in the background. So I think Carter wants to make a quick move, and it might be coming right here, right now.
Yeah, Braden Carter's going around the outside, so we're going to see this triple quad, but this is going to be the closest we've seen it. I think he's going to have it. Look at how much he gains landing into the corner. Oh! And clips the rear wheel and the lag bubble of good old Frenchie Alexis Leclerc, who I'm pretty sure is actually not in France. He's in, like, freaking some crazy country right now.
And then Leclerc goes down in the very next corner, so Carter would have just got him next corner anyway, and now he's back in fourth. So Seth Carr has retaken the lead, Lang second, Eaglin third, then Carter and Leclerc, as you can see on your screen right there. Castellaneta, Hubbard, Lindsay, Rogers, all pretty much within the same picture there coming down the start straight in the background. And, man, it is actually still pretty close here with these guys. You would have thought they would have gotten a big gap with how fast they're all riding, but it's actually not that case at all. Carr's got a 3-second lead. Then it's Lang, Eaglin, Carter, Leclerc, nose to tail, Castellaneta, and Hubbard right there. Then a fairly big gap a little bit further back is you got to go down the order a little ways to find Jeremy Seabolt. But this is great action up front.
Yeah, sorry, I got distracted a little bit there. So we got 7 guys within 10 seconds right now, and complete opposite, right, of what we saw in that first race. I think what we're getting now is that the other guys really don't have the speed to match up with the leaders of the first race, and those guys are now getting themselves inside that group. So you got the people that had the great starts trying to hold on from the guys that had bad starts with the most speed from the first race. So see what happens here. A lot of interesting thing. I'm guessing that we're going to get a lot of shuffling back and forth positions here from these guys, but going to have to see what Braden Carter can do in traffic. He's got Leclerc on his heels, though. After that small mistake, Leclerc shows that he's pretty closely matched to Braden Carter. Was that on purpose, kind of?
I don't know, maybe.
The drop off to bounce across. I think that was a on-purpose line, unless he just went long onto the table, but Leclerc saves that thing. Braden Carter still just chasing here outside the top 3, but not really anyone gaining here.
Yeah, this is as close as it gets right now, and man, Seth Shirley went 103.8 last time by, and he was cooking making a few passes, and then went down again. So he's in 15th as Carter makes a big mistake right there. Good save to not have it be worse, but then he cases the quad again, and Leclerc jumps right over him. Meanwhile, Eagland is going to work, trying to get into second place on T-Lang. These guys are about 3.5 seconds off of our race leader, Seth Carr, going the other way into the tunnel jump right now. So while these guys continue to fight, Carter has not really made as much of a dent in this front group as he probably expected to maybe about 3 or 4 minutes ago. Now he's just having to deal with trying to get a decent result in this race because Leclerc's actually on his horse in this one.
Yeah. What?
What?
I just wasn't expecting that to come out of your mouth.
Okay.
Oh my God! Huge pile up. Is that a lapper that was down and they hit him?
That was a lapper. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Eagland's got the shafted right there by a lapper as he drops 2 spots. Frank Jackson supposed to be in 4th place. I don't know what he's doing. He clearly didn't get the memo here in Alabama. But so Braden Carter going to go by. Tyler Lang and Colby Eagland drop those 2 spots back to 5th place. And Braden Carter trying to work his way back up. Carter versus Leclerc is not what I had on my bingo card for being the battle of the night. But
and Carter lands on Leclerc and somehow doesn't go down. Leclerc's going to quad right back up the inside here. Here we go. Look at Carter trying to be defensive. And look at Leclerc just gets it right back, man. He doesn't care at all about Carter. Carter goes in deep, punch him over the corner, and Leclerc goes down hard. Carter loses 2 spots in the process, maybe a 3rd, as his old teammate Castellaneta is trying to go around the outside, but Carter defends the inside and hangs on to 4th place. What an interaction that was. Just got sick of him and punted the 7 machine over the corner.
That's so awesome. I mean, you could see it. He totally knew he was quadding up the inside, braked hard, cut down, and then was like, I'm just going to center punch him in the next freaking corner. That was absolutely awesome. Not very clean, by the way, Braden, but pretty awesome. It's very easy to get frustrated with lag, especially when you've already been the victim of it more than once in the race. So now we're back on board watching Colby Eagland very close on with Tyler Lang, but I feel like these guys are almost perfectly matched in speed. I don't know what their lap times are like, but it feels like they've been pretty close this whole time, but haven't really gained on each other, just slowly losing Seth Carr, who's actually pulled his lead out to 7 seconds. So he's probably going to walk this thing home if he can keep it on 2, and I think we're going to keep an eye on this battle with these guys for 2nd and 3rd right here.
Yeah, this is T-Lang and Eagland still going at it with Carter in the background, hoping he could maybe still get 2nd in this race if all comes together well. Meanwhile, Leclerc slips back to 8th. He's 24 seconds off the lead after getting teed up. Seth Shirley's still in 12th now, 36 seconds off the lead, and probably not going to get many more positions from there unless a few more guys go down in front of him. So it's Carr, Lang, Eagland, Carter, Hubbard, your top 5 coming down with should be 2 to go here, maybe 3 to go, depending on if Carr can check in one more time. But T-Lang's holding a strong 2nd, not letting these guys fluster him too much, even with all the chaos going on.
Yeah, definitely not trying to let it happen. I mean, there's been so much that's gone down behind him, and T-Lang has just held strong. Ooh, but right there, cases that triple in, gonna miss this rhythm, but it looks like when they get off, they can get back on rhythm fairly easily and not gain too much time. As I say that, though, trying to make a move up the inside is Eagland. He had a good line there, but Tyler Lang was able to regroup just in time. But now when Tyler Lang has this pressure right on his rear wheel, I think this is probably the closest that it's been. He's really got to pull this thing out in the next couple corners, or else I think he's going to fall into that trap. And then you have Braden Carter, who's also going to come put pressure on you and make this a 3-man battle.
Yeah, this is 3 riders going for 2nd place here, coming down to the bitter end. And yes, time has just now expired. Seth Carr going to get the white flag this time by. Here comes Carter, closing that down onto his teammate Colby Eagland and the number 5 of Tyler Lang as the white flag waves for them as well this time by. So Carter could still walk away with P2 here in this race if he plays his cards correctly. What happens here? Lang, Eagland, Carter, nose to tail with 1 lap to go for 2nd place. Eagland thinks of an inside move on Lang, backs out of the challenge. They all triple in cleanly. They all triple again. They all quad. Carter just hugging the tough blocks there just a little bit. Carter's going to go outside. Does he go for the 3 here? He does. And then goes for the quad. No, he does not get it. He has to 3-1 into the corner. So now it's up to Eagland trying to get T-Lang here on this final lap. They're all getting through the whoops very cleanly. Very surprising to see no mistakes here down the stretch by anybody. Whoops got beat down maybe just a little bit. That helped out their case, and this is going to come all the way down to the checkered flag. Speaking of coming down to the checkered flag, our race leader Seth Carr snuck away in this one, 4th in the first race, and a first right now sets him up really well. Seth Carr wins race 2 in Birmingham. T-Lane's going to hold on for second. Oh, gets a little sideways through the inside right there. And Lang does get P2. Eaglin 3rd. Carter 4th. And Hubbard looks like he'll get 5th. Seabolt back here in 6th. Castellaneta 7th. Leclerc 8th. Lindsay 9th. Woods 10th. And Shirley has gotten to 11th. So a win in the first one for him, but this is going to be detrimental. He'll be lucky to get a podium from here.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really tough. Starting with 12 points going in is not where you want to be. Meanwhile, there's other guys that went 1-4, like Braden Carter, and these guys that are just up front with a lot of points or very low points. Seth Shirley really threw this away. It is a good way, though, to not have that 11 be the only result on your night, and maybe he can sneak back in the top 5 for the night as we go through the running order. See the rest of these guys where they're at coming across the line here. Balls are falling apart. Luke Sullivan, great start, got up front, then got screwed all the way back to P21.
Yeah, he's going to be pissed with that.
P20. Fuck.
With that one.
Sucks. Braden Tharp, fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, Tharp.
In 18th, was like, screw it, I don't care about anything, I'm just going to go really fast. 103.1, another 103 back there in 17th place. Fastest lap by your leader. Or 4th place, other than that, 103.2. So Braden Tharp throwing down way in the back, but nothing changing with the results and going out here.
Yeah, Seth Carr gets the win in this one, 4-1 versus a 2-4 out of Braden Carter. Seth Carr rolls into the final race as the leader in that one, and of course, final race of 250s coming up. That is going to be Cade Matherly. Sitting on a pretty 1-1 performance right now, and a lot of chit-chat in the chat right now of whether or not that was fair or not by Braden Carter.
Someone. AMA enters chat. Yeah, riding in the mechanics area. I don't know why they don't put a timing gate there. It's crazy. They used to. I don't know if you remember that. Where they put those blocks, they used to put a timing gate there, and you could miss it by going in, even if it was like 3 of those little bales.
So what do you think? You think that's fair by Carter on Leclerc? I mean, I get that he was frustrated, but that was also...
I mean, it's dirt. I'm all for Iron Fist.
Okay.
Like, I don't care. You're my friend. Like, you're the best. You're a 4-time champion. Whatever you're doing, you can't center punch people. That's punting, and that should be a weak ban. That should be 5 positions. Whatever the precedent needs to be, playing these games, going outside, cleaning out front wheels, I'm all fine with that, but center punch T-boning someone in the corner, no matter how frustrated you are, is just not okay, not clean racing, not mature, and that's always been a problem. It was always, did he take you out? Like with the middle of his bike or his rear wheel, okay, he's fine. Did he punt you? And we don't go flying over the berms like we used to. That was a punt. He would have been in the stands with the way the old collisions used to be.
Yeah.
So that's not cool. Like, they both just luckily went down. But, like, I don't care who you are. You could be my best friend, and I'd be saying you can't do that. And I think that there should be some penalty because people do that way too often. And it's just a warning. And another warning, and they get a warning for everything. Off-track penalty, cutting the track, then a T-bone. There should be something, whether it's points, positions, whatever, a week suspension. I think that something, that's just not cool, Braden.
Just not cool, man. I mean,
you know, go around the lag.
Stayed on the track, I guess, is one way to put it, so that, he only just kind of tipped over. He didn't fall off the bike. It wasn't a leg. So I don't know. There's many different ways you can slice it, but what you can slice it right now is that we are ready to crown a Triple Crown champion here tonight in the 250 class. Can Cade Matherly get the sweep? Here we go. Off and running. Oh, man, drag race into that first corner. Matherly's going to tuck in tight again. He's going to come out in second place as Cody Branson gets the RaceFactorGaming.com whole shot. This time, Branson tries to cut the line off as around the outside. Colin Allen's trying to make a move. You also got Johnny Padani up there. Cade Matherly in a good position in 4th early on. So this is really down to Padani versus Matherly as it stands. Talon Zoller's also a bit of a long shot, but he is dead last off the start of this one as Padani goes to work in P2. Matherly currently in 4th place.
Yeah, Matherly, though, great start for where he needs to go. Padani also just murdered someone in the second corner, and it was super clean because he just hit him with the side of his bike. But Padani making a small mistake here, going to make Colin Allen have to jump out wide. Oh, Branson tips over in the inside sand, so that's going to allow him. He slides back to 3rd, Padani to the lead. And now we got a chase here in a very tight battle. So Padani in the best position that he could possibly be in right here, trying to maximize his points and get away from Cade Matherly. As, oh my God, Colin Allen, you're an animal.
Just upside down on that triple. So right now, Padani into the race lead also currently sits in a position to win the overall because he's going to gain 3 points on Cade Matherly, who's back in 4th, and he's going to win the final race, which is the tiebreaker, of course. So Padani actually has done his part so far, get a couple guys between he and Matherly. Now it's Matherly's turn to try to get up there and do something else about it. But Colin Allen might give him an advantage here as he jumps off the track. Matherly tripling to the outside behind him. Oh, Branson goes invis. Where did Cody Branson just go? He was in.
He's going to reappear.
He's back. Oh, my gosh, right in front of these guys. And he's in 2nd place. Colin Allen's trying to get down the inside and pass him back. Branson into the Davalos bales, and Matherly gets up in a 3rd. That is the pass, right now at least, for the overall of this race.
Yeah, man. Wow, absolutely crazy right there. It's so scary when you're in a battle and someone goes invisible. Branson also riding amazing coming through the LCQ. Very proud of him tonight. But Cade Matherly putting on his charge again, trying to work his way forward. Padani is trying to get away, and Cade is trying to cement his W here tonight and go out and win this last one. But Colin Allen's riding really good in front of him. So going to be tricky for him to get through. It seems like this 250 class doesn't have as much separation as the 450 class seem to have.
Yeah, it seems
when they're close together.
Yeah, well, I mean, the racing is a little bit more mistake-driven, obviously, in the 250 class, and I think we're starting to see some of that come into play. But for Cade Matherly, he's just trying to be steady all night long, and it's working out for him. Currently just 1 point up, though, on Johnny Padani, who leads this race. So he's putting the pressure on Matherly to respond, and Matherly is closing up on Colin Allen for 2nd place, trying to get into even a better position now and really solidify this thing all the way home. It's 5 points for Matherly, it's 6 points for Padani, and it's 21 points right now for Cody Branson. So it is a massive swing in points if it stays that way. And we got my daughter coming in right now. Let's see if she's got any good stuff for us here on the microphone tonight. What do you got to say to the people? I thought you would have something to say. You don't have anything to say?
You could tell them about the leprechauns. Tell them about the leprechauns.
Was it Leprechaun Day this week?
She's being goofy.
That's it? Nothing? Can you sing for the people? No singing? All right, that's what Holly's got to say tonight. Meanwhile, we've got a race for the lead going on. Colin Allen has taken it over right now.
He's only here
from
for
Johnny Padani. Cade Matherly, 3rd place, still hanging tough with these guys. And this is a 3-rider battle for the win of this individual race. But obviously, it plays more into Matherly's hands if Colin Allen can get up there and ruffle the feathers. Because if Padani can't win it, then he just straight up cannot win the overall either.
Yeah, this the points total right now with Branson being 3rd and that far back is absolutely insane to be getting 3rd with 21 active points. But so Padani really, yeah, he is the kind of controlling his own destiny right now. He needs to work his way forward and needs to get the best possible finish he can get. This 3rd place or 2nd place right now is not helping him. He needs to get around Colin Allen, who I am now rooting for because he's here just for you. But Padani needs to get this spot and kind of hold on. Ooh, and look at that. Going to lose the spot, actually, to Cade as he stacks that rhythm. So, yeah, that's not going to hurt him. You needed that one buffer, too, right there, that one spot separation. So, Padani is not in control of this whatsoever, and this is Cade's to lose.
Well, I was going to say, is Cade actually maybe a bit of a sitting duck here because Padani could help his case by putting Cade on the ground, and he's been a little bit faster than him in the early stages of this race. So if you're Matherly, I guess you got to go try to get Colin Allen in a hurry, right? You don't want to have the opportunity be presented for Padani to get a block pass done on you and maybe clip his rear tire.
Yeah, I mean, It's going to be interesting because Padani, I'm looking at the gap right now. There's 8 seconds from them back to fourth. So you're going to have to put him on the ground, get him a fall off, and pray that those guys can get to him and get by and then hold him off. But, I mean, you do have time counting down. So if you are Padani too, what I think you do is and then you have to go on and get first if he is in third. So I think really he's just got to get to him as quick as possible. And then from there, maybe see what happens. If he has the ability to, why not, right? Give yourself the best chance to win the race. And whatever gamesmanship you have to do, as long as you keep it clean. But now seeing Cade Matherly trying to make a pass up in the lead, it's really not helping Padani at all. He needs to get back up there and get back up there fast.
Well, Matherly probably also wants maybe a little bit of bragging rights with this if he could sweep the Triple Crown. When coming into tonight, he hadn't even led a lap this year, even though he is the red plate holder. So that would be huge for him to go out and get a 1-1-1 sweep here in the Triple Crown at Birmingham if he can get the job done. Colin Allen, who we talked about in the pre-race show, fastest qualifier tonight, hasn't really shown his face much of this race just yet. Got a good start, I think, in race 2. But other than that, it has not been a good night for the number 80 machine. So now he is getting his opportunity to kind of get back into the swing of things and maybe go out with a bang in this final race and get a win. For his case, he would be looking at P7 overall, so nothing really to fight for in terms of a podium. But again, bragging rights, man. Get a race win. At least stamp it on the card. You can leave here happy about something other than just leaving here with absolutely nothing, which Cade Matherly is hoping to leave with the big hardware here tonight and get this dub done. And, I mean, right now, like, Matherly, we know he's been a really methodical guy, consistent. That's been his mantra pretty much his entire career in this game. But it's another level tonight because I feel like he has not once really looked like he's pushing, but he's obviously won 2 races and now looking to get a third here.
I think this is the best overall day we've ever seen from him. I feel like even in outdoors, there's times where it's like he's good in one moto and bad in the other, like can't get the starts, right? But then he's really good. It seems like he's been on his game altogether. We haven't seen him that far back. He's been riding really, really smooth and riding smart when he's in the positions and gets kind of challenged by needing to kind of do something different. But I think this is really impressive. And honestly, he's going to leave here extending his points lead. And I think we've seen a change Cade right now. As they come across the line, 8 minutes to go. Calling Cookie Monster Allen up front, trying to get a dub.
Well, speaking of change, Cade, I mean, Dylan Delaire entering second in the championship here tonight, 7 points back, is currently looking at a 17th place overall on the night. So that is a huge point swing if Matherly can win this race and then see Delaire have those points fade away. So Matherly goes from a really tight championship fight with the likes of Ben Nerona, who won earlier this year. Obviously, Emmanuel Cepeda had the red plate at one point. He didn't even make the main event here tonight. And suddenly Matherly, as we move into the second half of this 250 East Championship, might already have almost a full race distance lead just by winning this race alone, which goes to show just how crazy these 250 championships are and how quickly they can turn.
Yeah, I mean, especially with this, you think the Triple Crown is going to be the one where everyone can kind of cancel out their bad results, but it seems that only him and Padani have been able to do that. Talon Zollers now is third overall with 17 points, but really everyone else just super inconsistent, and that inconsistency brings the guys that were close to him in points are now having really, really bad results. So Cade has kind of figured it out, and I think he's just going to kind of walk this thing in, and this championship is now his to lose. We've seen some really close battles, and the gap wasn't that big coming into tonight, and then losing Delaire and losing everything else. Yeah, Cade is going to be kind of cruising out front with this red plate and probably taking home the championship.
So right now he is just hanging on to P2. He's got a big gap of 14 seconds behind him to Johnny Padani, who has lost touch with these guys. It's all Colin Allen here in race 3, though. He has been able to stabilize this lead a little bit, actually opened up a little bit of a gap on Matherly, who I think at this point, as much as winning the final race would be cool, I think just realize the benefit that he is in a great position to win this overall, doesn't need to overexert himself, and can just bring it home and win this thing with a second-place finish. Again, Padani now in the sand back here, just not really able to stick with these guys here in race 3, so it hasn't been all to his liking either. And then we'll go back down the order a little bit to find this man right here, Talon Zollers, who just moved into 7th. He is currently sitting in a podium position overall on 15 points. So for him kind of a quiet night. We haven't talked about him much. I think he got third in the first race or fourth. But just steady results. Going to pick up another good one here. And overall going to end up on the podium, which is always a nice way to cap this thing off. So Colin Allen, one more time through the whoops, is going to get a little sideways into the tough blocks. Wait a minute. We got a race. Cade Matherly's going to be right there. And he could kind of throw caution to the wind because he's got a gap back to Padani. Little mistake right there. Allen regroups very nicely. Matherly sending it around the outside of the sand. Lap traffic in the way here could come into play just a little bit. As Allen gets kind of hung up, Matherly has to swing wide, goes step on off, and then double into the corner. So that's going to be enough for Allen to get this job done. 2 corners left to go. He comes back with a vengeance in race 3 after qualifying fastest. It is going to be Colin Allen winning race 3, but Cade Matherly takes the win tonight here in Birmingham. His first win of the season, extends his championship lead, and it's all 25 as we move into the second half of 250 East.
Yeah, that was damn impressive right there. Got so close at the end. Pretty cool that Colin Allen was able to get the win on this last moto. Johnny Padani fell back pretty far, was unable to do it. Comes up just short, but he's still going to be second on the box here tonight with that overall. Maverick Snyder coming across as well. Talon Zollers, there's your third place podium finisher right there. Coming through in 5th, so he's on 13 points, which is crazy because that's like a 4-4-5, and I feel like we didn't see him or talk about him or anything, so he must have been just outside that podium group consistently tonight, and consistency is going to cash some results right here in this Triple Crown. So shout out to him and everyone else who showed up tonight. And Dylan Delaire's back, and he's murdering people coming into the finish. Alec Horn almost just died. Someone else is going. There's 3 guys that are in the section that have not finished and now have to race to the timing gate.
Yeah, look at Delaire, though, 14th in this one.
And, on the DNF. So Dylan Delaire's season is over.
Overall in this one, where he came in 7 points down, he loses 24 points to Cade Matherly. Yeah, not good. Not good at all.
Well, that's a GG, bud.
GG.
Season's over. Pack it up. Go.
Matherly, I just saw him type in chat, GG trash cans. No.
GG.
He did not say that. That's coming straight out of Fact Sports right there, I'll tell you what.
Facts. Kellen is the Babylon Bee of broadcasting.
Wow.
Fake news, onion, I don't even know.
Onion. So it is Cade Matherly who wins the overall here in the Triple Crown. Johnny Padani second, Talon Zollers third, and that is how your 250 overall breakdown. Matherly, Padani, Zollers, Maverick Snyder fourth, Joseph Pilsner fifth overall, just ahead of Jeff Cooper. Big shout out, of course, to Lane Burks, iMoto 251, who keeps giving us the live Triple Crown updated standings. Now we get to talk about our 450 boys, and here's how it breaks down coming into this final race. Seth Carr on 5. Braden Carter on 6, Tyler Lang on 9, Colby Eaglin, Braden Castellaneta, and Seth Shirley all on 12.
3-horse race.
Kind of.
You can't tell me that one of those guys in the top 3 is not going to be in the top 3. 6. They got to be 6 points worse than Eaglin if he wins, So
yeah.
Tough, but
it comes down to a start though, because I feel like if Carter ends up back where Shirley was in this race, he could very easily have a Shirley type of race that he had in race 2.
Yeah, I think he's not guaranteed for the win, but I think out of those 3, one of them is going to come through, get a good start. But I mean, Colby Eaglin has just been trending upwards. Seth Shirley there, Castaneda has just been kind of there, which is he's like the Zollers of this round, maybe 6'6" or whatever, just kind of sitting back there. So keep an eye out on the start. It's going to be super important. I think once we get through the first rhythm section, that's probably the first time we can check in and say, okay, who do we have inside the top 5 and which ones are the guys battling for points?
Yep, we're going to keep a close eye on this start because that is where it is going to matter for this final race of the Triple Crown here in Birmingham. Round 10 of MotoOption Supercross live here on Star Your Systems TV. Kellen Brower, Andrew Wood in the studio bringing you guys the action. And it's go time, people. Race 3 coming at you right now. Who you guys got in the chat? Carr Carter, Lang? Or could we see Eaglin, Castellaneta, Shirley break through and win this thing? How about T-Lang getting a win? That would be huge. It's been a long time for him too, so that would be pretty gnarly. Obviously, Seth Carr won in San Diego earlier this year. Braden Carter's won 5 races this year, so he's trying to get another one. But here we go. It is time to drop the gate on the final race of the night. Race 3 of the 450s is lined up and ready to go. Who wins race 3 of the Triple Crown could determine who wins the overall. It's coming at you right now. Let's go from Birmingham.
Start is huge.
Pretty good jump from, wow, someone, is that
Eaglin?
Cash Woods, I think, actually gets there first, but it's going to be Carter who gets the whole shot. Woods down the inside is trying to hold on to take the lead away from him, and he does. Carter's friend and former teammate Jacob Hubbard is up here. Cash Woods not getting the rhythm the cleanest as Carter's trying to go to the lead around the outside. Hubbard almost jumps into Carter, and Carter has to go off the track. A couple guys getting by in the mix, and one of them is Seth Shirley, who makes that pass around him as well. And also in the mix is Jeremy Seabolt on the 10 as Carter tries to get back down the inside to pass Seabolt. And Cash Woods, who was leading this race, goes down. Seabolt to the front.
Yeah, for you guys to keep an eye on, Braden Carter just needs to finish 1 spot ahead, and then he will win, because if they tie, then no, as he jumps off the sand into the tunnel and goes down, only loses 2 spots, not off the bike. So basically this race, if they can stay close and up front, is going to be Carter versus Shirley, who finishes ahead of who. Carter, though, man, he's fighting from behind a little bit here, but luckily still up front. If he went off the bike, I don't know what he would do. He would probably freak out.
Seth Carr 12th, by the way. T-Lang 13th. The other guys that factored in coming into this race, they're down the order off the start as Jeremy Seabolt leads the field around here at the end of the first full lap. It is Seabolt, Hubbard, Shirley, Heilman, and Carter, your top 5. And obviously this is a great position for Shirley to be in. If he can make something happen and get into the lead, obviously it puts some pressure on Carter to stay up here, because there was only 6 points between him. Seabolt does a 180, and it stacks up Shirley into the berm right there. And then he gets kind of bumped by Carter and almost backflips. Somehow doesn't go off the bike. Now he's trying to get back on in the whoops. Bad position, and he's down. He is down. Rushed it, needed to get back onto the whoops cleanly, and went for a aggressive maneuver to get back onto the whoops, and it bites him. So now this is Carter's opportunity to win this thing for sure. Heilman jumps to 2nd, Hubbard 3rd, and Carter 4th.
Yeah, hand up Hubbard's going to get passed up the inside. No, he's not. Doolies. Carter going on the inside. Let's see if this slingshot's going to work. Hubbard has to try to avoid him. Carter with some wheelie.
What's going on here?
What is happening. I think it was just the wheelie, and he knew, like, there's the slingshot line. Who knows? But I did get my Seths mixed up very bad with Carr and Shirley.
Carr and Shirley,
and I thought that was the battle for the win. So we'll see how Seth Carr can do coming through the field, as Shirley kind of imploded there. So Jacob Hubbard still chasing now as Carter was able to get behind him. Got a little bit of pressure from behind. But these guys trying to work their way up inside the top 5.
Yeah, this is Carter 3rd, Hubbard 4th, and you can see Luke Sullivan trying to go to work on Hubbard to get into 4th place. On the outside, almost got there, and then Hubbard shuts the door. So nice move right there. Looks like Seth Shirley is down the order. He's in 19th place for Seth Shirley right now, so tough break for him. Balzer, I saw him disconnect at the bottom of our screen, so he's out of this one in 22nd. Carr has climbed all the way to 9th. Ran the fast lap of the race at a 105.3. He's not too far behind this battle right now, but obviously as Carter kind of streaks away from the front of this group, he's losing touch with Carter in a hurry, and he needs to beat Carter in this race to win the overall. On the night, Hubbard slides down after the finish line jump, loses at least 2 positions. Will it be 3? No, only 2 spots, as now Eaglin and Carr come into the background right there as well. So Carr now into 8th, working on his teammate Eaglin in 7th. And then Carter's still holding on to 3rd place up here, just ahead of Luke Sullivan. So it is still Seabolt, Heilman, and now Carter in the 3 spot. It is actually closer than I thought it, because Carr is only about 5-6 seconds behind where Carter is on the track. And another rider down at the end of the whoops right there is going to help out Carr's case. He's going to get around that rider, and he's still right on his teammate Colby Eaglin. Rider down was, I believe, Braden Castellaneta.
Oh, and another rider one down.
Who is that? That is Luke Sullivan down in the sand. So another rider down as Carr slices by there as well. Heilman almost stacks up with Eagland right there at the front of our screen. Sorry, that is Hubbard, not Heilman, on the 78. And this is getting...
2 more spots and they're tied, right?
Well, Carter just got in a second, so gained another position on Heilman as Siebold continues to lead this race, going the other way. But, I mean, Carter is not that far in front of this group. Really, he is not.
No, the timing, it being fairly early in the race, actually almost 5 minutes in, but it seems like this 450 class, there was no huge crash off the start as he almost goes over the bar as Eagland does. Carr's trying to make a move as these guys mess up in the long rhythm. No big crashes off the start means this a very tight race, I guess, compared to what we have seen. So this group, even though you're further back in positions, you're not too far back as far as track position goes. So let's see, he's gaining some time right here. He's just got to find a spot on the track to make his move. You got to try to pass 2 guys and keep working forwards because Braden Carter's trying to work his way up in the lead.
That was the 7 of Alexis Leclerc down at the exit of the whoops in the background. If you maybe just caught that at the corner of our screen. Carr still working on Eagland and Hubbard, and then Heilman just up the road from them as Carter has fully gotten away from this. 104.9 now in P2 to a 105.9 out of our race leader, Jeremy Siebold. So Carter, he's trying to stamp some authority on this. The only way he knows how, that is by winning at all costs. He is going to go try to run down Jeremy Siebold out front. Obviously, they are teammates, so maybe even in a voice call together, chatting with each other right now. And we'll see how this plays out with Siebold holding on to the lead halfway through this one.
Yeah, Siebold's looking great. I feel like it's hard with this being the last one of a Triple Crown. You don't get to kind of give everyone their flowers as much as you would like to. Heilman also riding amazing in third. He's just kind of been super silent, but Siebold just getting off to a great start, fighting through a little bit of action early on, and then able to just kind of keep this thing smooth. He seems to, it kind of comes and goes when he finds it, his speed and his consistency, but it's always good to see him up here. He's an OG, had that number 10 for a long time now, and just cool to see him out here still racing and still being competitive.
By the way, Seth Carr has gotten around both Eagland and Hubbard into the 4th position. He's about 9 seconds or so behind Carter here. There's Heilman 3rd, and here's Carr 4th. So clean air for him now. Goes 104.5 last time by. It was only a 10th faster than Carter. But again, the key thing there is about 9 seconds, because if Carter has a legs at some point, then Seth Carr would pretty much be right with him as he picks it up. So this is not over just yet. Carter has got to be clean and consistent out front. And I guess the question here is, if you're Carter, do you go try to run Siebold down and stamp this thing, or are you going to maybe try to manage this because you could win this race without having to go and actually win this race at the end?
Yeah, I think it gets tricky if he gets really close. I think Braden Carter really only has 1 speed, so I don't think running him down is like an option, you know, if he doesn't have to kick it into overdrive. I think if he gets there, though, that's when he's going to have to make the decision. Do I sit here behind him, or do I then try to make a move? I think him getting up to Siebold is going to be kind of a no-brainer unless we see some big mistakes from Carter. Just what does he do when he actually gets there? As we're actually seeing a small mistake from Braden Carter, double whip over the finish, almost goes down right there. So I think just smooth and steady, run your pace, and there's honestly only 4 minutes plus a lap to go. These short races are really going to help Braden here, and he is in the catbird seat.
Yeah, and a 103.2 last time by for Seth Carr. That was over a whole second faster than what Braden Carter laid down at a 104.4. And then lap traffic will also come into play here as well. Of course, Siebold will hit them first, but you have to think about how this could affect Carter as he tries to navigate through them as well. And now you can just every once in a while start seeing Seth Carr just poking his head in the background. He's about 7 seconds down of Carter. That gap continues to come down as he goes over the tunnel jump as Carter goes under it. So, yeah, this is not over, folks. Hang tight, because anything could happen in MotoOption Supercross, and it often does, like Seth Carr almost going over the bars onto the start straight. I saw that at the top of our screen right there. Hit that roller coming onto the start straight, and a save and a half not to fall, but obviously lost about a 2 or 3 seconds of time right there again.
Yeah, I think people have been wheeling into that and must have just messed up his timing. The thing is, these guys, so right now with him, Carr being 1 spot behind Braden Carter, they are tied in overall points for the night.
no! Lapper gets into Braden Carter. I think that's Ryan Chowsey on the 52 EVP Honda who instantly disconnects. And now Carter's a sitting duck. Here comes Seth Carr side by side for what is essentially the race lead, even though they're fighting for second. And now Carter gets into the back of him and almost goes down. Oh my goodness, what a turn of events.
Yeah, I think Carter just rushed that right there. He's got to be fuming right now. He was obviously very upset with Alexis Leclerc in the last race. Then that happening by a lapper, whether it was a mistake or not, he's got to be just steaming right now and just tries to make that move too early. If I were him, I would have just settled in a little bit and probably tried to make that pass back later on, give him that spot. Braden Carter needs to finish ahead of him. He gets the tiebreaker if he's one spot ahead, so he does have to chase down Seth Carr here, and now we have a race for the title tonight.
Yeah, so Seth Carr sitting in the P2 position, 11 seconds down, 103.5 last time by. So now it's up to Carter to absolutely lay it down as Seabolt's pretty much gone and run away with this thing out front. By the way, it's a District Designs 1, 2, 3, 4 on the racetrack right now, so those boys are probably feeling happy regardless of the result. But obviously Carter just wants this win so bad, and you can see it, man. He's pushing, he's plowing through the jumps, and he is doing this triple quad, which no one else is doing around him right now. And look at how fast he's going to hit these whoops. 5th tapped through them. Oh, it is on.
Yeah, you can't tell me. Oh my God, he's so fast. You can't tell me that. I don't understand why no one else is doing that line. Look how crazy that is. Jumping into a wall right there in the sand, railing around the outside, just missing that inside roller because he doesn't want to jump and get a weird kick. He definitely has the speed, and he's showing it right now. Seth Carr does as well, but Braden Carter, I think, is just a little bit more comfortable going this pace. Like I said, he needs to get this. Right now, the overall is in Seth Carr's hands. Braden Carter trying to get it back here and continue his domination on the way to his 5th title in a row. 47 seconds and plus a lap to go, so I think they are it's going to be weird with where the leader is to see if they hit it or if this is second to last lap right now or if we have 3 to go.
Yeah, it is going to be very close to see how it shakes down in the end. Oh, little case right there for Seth Carr, and again, he is not going to do this triple right here. Carter lands in the pocket, goes for the quad. Oh my gosh, greases it as well, and then right up on top of the whoops, bouncing through them so fast. But Carr is doing a really remarkable job of not letting this pressure get to him, at least just not yet. As we come down to the closing stages, time is about to expire. Going to be really close out front with Seabolt. No, he's not going to get there. Time will expire this time by, so it's essentially a one-lap dash for this race win. We know Seabolt's probably going to win the race, but who's going to win the overall? Carr versus Carter. It's whoever beats the other wins this overall. Carr is in position, a 103.5, 103.1, new fastest lap of the race for Braden Carter. He's absolutely full send right now on the final lap of the race.
Yeah, I think that ties what we saw fastest from Braden Tharp earlier. So
and that was Seabolt down, so now this is for the win.
So that was for the win. So for the win of the race, the points aren't going to change anything. Braden Carter still has to get in, but a huge mistake over that quad, almost over the bars, into the tough blocks. So Seth Carr is able to extend his lead as we come into the whoops here. Braden Carter is still going to continue sending it because why not? You're already this far into it. Might as well keep going and hope Carr makes a small bobble. Here's a bunch of down lappers. Kellen's going to take over and bring us to the finish.
Here we go. A few turns left to go as Carter gets into another lapper. And I think it's another EVP bike. And then he gets hit by Seabolt and he goes flipping across the track. So this is all Seth Carr now. It started with lappers. It ends with contact with his own teammate. But in this case for Seth Carr, it's going to be the second win of his 450 career. He won in San Diego earlier this year. And he's back into the vengeance here in Birmingham. Seth Carr wins the Triple Crown in Birmingham in the 450 class. It is Seabolt's second. Eaglin climbs to third, and Carter ends up fourth in the District Designs 1, 2, 3, 4. Instant disconnect. He's pissed, and he should be as well. Lap traffic completely affected that race. Castellaneta, Cash Woods, Rogers, Lang coming across the line in eighth. Think we'll salvage. No, he will not salvage a podium. That actually goes to Colby Eaglin, so that's huge for Eaglin, getting back up onto the box in the end. Hubbard, Heilman, Leclerc, Shirley going to end up 12th in this one. So won the first one, gets 7th overall at the end of this one. Spieth, Joey Carter, Hayden Stevenson, Jax Lindsay, Tharp, Sullivan, Speck, Jackson, Chowsey, Balzer. was the running order of that one. I cannot believe that just happened to Braden Carter.
Is Leclerc on EVP?
Nope.
Okay, his gear and bikes looks like it. I just see his...
He's on Phil's.
Okay. Very interesting to have two of those guys get into it with Leclerc in the same race. Chelsea and who else? Not really sure what we got going on there. Super bummer for it to end that way for him. Still going to come through with second overall. Eaglin, quiet race, had a great ride going there, was right behind that lead group, and he comes across in third overall. But Seth Carr takes it home, and man, carnage, action, drama. What the fuck, dude?
We have it all in MotoOption Supercross, but man, that was a tough break for Braden Carter. I mean, yeah, I think the Chelsea one, I don't want to say is intentional, but it's like, man, just move aside, let him have it, and could have just let him go by, but instead kind of fought him for it. And then I think it was Caden Speck, the other EVP rider.
The Chelsea one I felt like was the one that got a free pass with me. It almost looked like when you kind of cut down, you get a weird little kick and like just cross jumped in.
But I mean, when you're getting lapped, like you just...
No, yeah, it's your fault. Yeah. You got to not do that. But the other one just seemed like you're trying to, I don't know. We didn't really catch the whole thing straight away. So just a we hate when that happens.
I know.
We're in chat. I saw someone too. I was arguing with someone, man of the people normally, but it was like 2 wrongs don't make a right. And it's true. Like you don't need to retell or whatever the hell's going on with all this drama. And someone's like, no, dude, I'm going to get mine. It's like, no, you don't have to, you don't let
get mine.
It go the right way.
Stupid, yeah.
There's a path for these things. Bummer for Braden. I know he dropped by in chat. Bummer for you, man. I mean, he's still on his way to his 5th freaking straight Supercross title. So
yeah, I mean, grand picture, he only loses. No, he gains 2 points, I should say, on Colby Eagland.
Yeah.
And Seth Carr wasn't even in the title fight. So championship still looking very solid for him. I think he wants that win for sure, but at least he can take solace in a little bit of a championship points gain. So
shout out Carr.
Tell you guys the overall real quick. Seth Carr, Braden Carter, Colby Eagland. It is a district design sweep of the box. So those boys are going to be stoked on that, of course. And then Braden Castellaneta and T-Lang tying for 4th place, but Castellaneta the better final moto result right there. So that is our 450 overall here at the Triple Crown. And that is Birmingham done and dusted, man. What a night of racing. Really provided, obviously, in the 450 class, but even the 250 class, it was close for a while with Padani and Cade. Matherly obviously gets the win, and then Seth Carr wins in the 450 class, but at least we had good races pretty much all night long. It wasn't complete runaways across the board.
Yeah, I like the 250 class where we're at because it almost felt like that final 451 for a bit where you have the people who do really good, then the second race, it's flip-flopped, and then the last one, they're all mixed, so it's like all really close in points. Ended up kind of not being that way. The cream rose to the top, but I do like what we ended up seeing. The 450 class, besides the little drama at the end, same thing. We had a runaway of 3 guys and thought that's what it was going to be all night on this track, and ended up with some great racing. LCQs started out, but I'm tired of Triple Crowns, and I can't wait to go back to whoever's in first place, is going to win.
Yeah, we are back to the norm at Seattle. Next week, of course, 250 West going to be back in action. So just as we see Cade Matherly start to run away with this thing in the East, we get to go back west and see Braden Tharp, who's been crushing those guys west so far. And we'll see whether or not he can just keep doing the same thing that he's been doing all season long when we get to Seattle next week. But that is our stream here from Birmingham. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Also saw Sacrificial subbing up for his 3rd month over there on Twitch again right at the end. So thank you guys seriously for the continued support, the subs coming in on Twitch, and obviously YouTube. We keep growing as well over there on SYS TV. I know it's been a crazy change with everything going to the SYS TV side, but you guys have followed along the whole way, and now that we're on the backside of a break, still saw some big numbers tonight. A lot of people tuned in for the stream, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I like it this deep in the season, getting so many people live, split between 2 different streaming, whatever works best for them. It's awesome that you guys get to keep coming out week in and week out. I should be here for the next month straight, I think, so unless something comes up. So appreciate everyone for coming out and supporting. Can't wait to be back next week and get it going. Keep this thing going.
Get it going indeed. Well, that is it for Birmingham. Seattle up next. Can't wait to see you guys then. Big thanks, of course, to MotoOption Clothing, the Race Factor Gaming track crew, and RaceFactorGaming.com for putting on this fantastic series. Round 10 behind us, round 11 coming up, and we can't wait to see you guys then next week. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys then. So long for now.